first of all, I forgot what day it was. I thought it was Tuesday. So therefore I was coming in to lead the show.
Oh.
And so I'm glad no one heard me say, well, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh man, I wish.
I'm so glad that you had that rolling and nobody can hear that.
Skraby, 2:02 p.m.
Well, it's Tuesday.
Nobody, I don't think anybody in the history has ever missed the actual day by 3 days.
3 days is wild.
That's a long time. I mean, you can miss it by a day, I'm with you, but 3 days.
Jesse wasn't even paying attention. He just turned and looked at me with this smirk like, really?
Yeah.
And at that point is when I realized it wasn't actually Tuesday. It was Friday. So
all right. Well,
sorry.
Welcome to Friday.
What did you actually ask me?
I have no idea now. I'm completely thrown off.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know. I just
You just had a great day yesterday.
Yeah, just a fun day. Your thoughts on opening day and a Padre victory. It is amazing how one win can get everybody in town into such a great frame of mind. But that's kind of what happened.
I want everybody should enjoy that opening day victory.
For sure.
But remember, let's all live week to week. Let's not get too big. Let's not get too down. It's a long season. We're at the beginning of it. In terms of what I saw yesterday, it was everything you would hope a opening day would look like in San Diego. By the time the game rolled around, the clouds had kind of moved away. The sun was shining down. Place was capacity. And I think it was what's now become typical. You couldn't say this before, but what has now become typical of a San Diego Padre crowd. They're in it early. They kind of fall into as the game kind of is, stuck where it was, they kind of slide into a comfort. And then the seventh comes around, they get back into it because there's some more action there. And then they finish it off, loud as hell in the ninth with Robert Suarez doing his thing. It was what is becoming the norm here at Petco Park.
You're absolutely right, Tony. I mean, the crowd responded. And the other thing that the Padres, I think, have been able to establish with their fans is the fact that they're going to make a comeback in the game. They're not going to win every game, but they were down 1-0. They were down 3-2. They were down 4-3, and they were still down in the bottom of the seventh inning. I didn't get the feeling that anybody in that ballpark yesterday didn't think the Padres are going to find a way to win that game. And
I think what you're really saying is that this is a team they're going to keep fighting until all 27 outs are made.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to leave a game with a 1 run in the seventh inning. Don't get me. I'm not saying that. Just the fact, though, that you always feel good about their chances, even going into the late innings. Yeah. And look, I mean, Gavin Sheets. I mean, come on, this is like a Hollywood storybook, and we're only one game into the season. Guy hit 6 home runs. If he doesn't do that, he is not even close to making the roster out of spring training. And then you put him up in the bottom of the seventh inning. And Mike Schilt gets all my props for this, Tony. How many managers? Look, Brandon Lockridge is the left fielder because of left-handed pitchers on the mound. Now a right-handed pitcher comes into the game, and it's Brandon Lockridge's spot in the batting order. Every manager I know is going to bring up the lefty, Jason Hayward. That's the guy you bring up. You just took Lockridge out. You bring Hayward up. You save Sheets maybe for later in the game. Mike Schilt, I think, had a feeling. He just had a feeling. I'm taking my shot with Sheets right now, and it paid off beautifully. And then you got Hayward in, later in the inning, and it all, worked out. But I Schilt had managed that thing nicely.
He did. It's matchup.
Yeah.
It's understanding you may not get another crack at this. This might be the only shot to use him and use him in a spot where the matchup is in your favor. And, man, talk about coming up clutch. Gavin came to the plate. He looked exactly like he looked there in spring training. Calm, cool, collected, and then decided to hit the ball to the deepest part of the ballpark for a homer.
Yeah, and we've seen Michael Harris steal a few of those over the years. So it was in doubt until it completely disappeared behind the fence there. But what a moment for Gavin Sheets. And the Padres, they're on pace now to steal 800 bases, by the way. 5 per game. that was pretty, that was fun to see. That's always fun baseball. We talk about baseball now. Everybody goes, sits back, waits for the home run. Sure, the Braves are the home run team. I mean, they hit 2 yesterday, and they always hit a bunch of home runs. Padres can hit home runs. But the thing the Padres showed once again, Tony, is they can score in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
And they can string it together with singles and doubles and walks and steals. And that's something that's going to continue to make them dangerous because we know that the home run comes and goes.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what made their offense so legit last year was that they could beat you in a number of ways. I mean, Toddy was dynamic at the top of the lineup last night or yesterday. Used the other way, the way you would like to see him do. He got on the base pass and caused havoc, stole third twice. He was elite. Even though Luis didn't necessarily swing the bat well, he did a lot of things that affect winning, right? He had the sack bunt. Then he had the sack fly, his third and fourth at bat. Those are winning plays that you create early. They become habit late, and it becomes who you are by the end of the season. And the beauty of this team, in my opinion, and I think the thing that's going to give them the best chance to have that success again is the fact that the core of this team is intact. These guys played with each other last year. They know what the expectation is, and it's year 2 under Mike Schilt. I mean, I feel good about this team. I've said that since spring training. This team, they believe they are who they are.
Padres will send Dylan Cease to the mound tonight in Game 2 against Reynaldo Lopez. As mentioned, Kyle Hart will be on the show here to get us underway. I'm glad you brought up Luis Arraez because he went 0 for 2. This is shocking. He's now hitting 0-0-0 on the second day of the season, right?
Right.
That's impossible. But you're right, Tony. He helped you win the game. And that at bat he had in the 7th inning, they brought in Aaron Bummer, a left-hander. And Mark Grant pointed out on the telecast anyway that Bummer is a 61% ground ball rate pitcher. Yep. So he is hard to get the ball in the air. And that's exactly what Arraez needed to do to get the run in. That is why he's so fun to watch. That's why he's a great hitter. Never mind all the hits. He got the sack fly when you had to have it against a guy that's hard to do against.
He got tougher in that at bat than he had been at any point in the day.
Yeah.
They bring the matchup they won in. He's spitting on that slider that's just off that he threw him like twice and got some. And I don't even know that pitch was elevated. I think he just elevated.
That's right. Yeah.
And hit it deep enough. Again, it's not always about getting hits. With him, it usually is. I will say that. With him, it is usually about getting hit. But these guys they're winning players, man, and they put that on display. Now it's just game 1 of 162. We got a long way to go, but it's hard not to be encouraged watching a team win and watching them win in almost the same ways they won a bunch of games last year.
And of course, Tony, I took the time yesterday to research just how important an opening day victory is. And yes, each of the last 3 World Series champions, Dodgers, Rangers, Astros, all won on opening day. So there's proof. There's proof that we're going to the World Series right there.
I saw a better one that would is a mind bender, right?
Okay.
The last 2 teams that I think scored 8 runs or won 8-1 in their home opener went on to win the World Series. I think that was what was it? Can't remember. It might have been the Astros and someone else recently. You know who did it yesterday? The White Sox. They're on their way to the World Series, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, hey, if the Padres are going to get to the World Series, let's walk in and see the White Sox. That would be fantastic.
For sure.
All right. We're underway for our Friday get-together. Finally a Friday. Gwynn and Chris here, Tony down at the stadium, Skraby alongside, busily putting things together over here.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 computers I'm using right now.
You're busy right now, so that's good for us because that means you're not going to blurt out something silly.
I figured that was going to happen.
We'll go to break. Kyle Hart, Padre new left-handed starter, joins us when we come back. Chance to meet him as the show keeps rolling here on 97.3 The Fan.
these things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
.216 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr. Chris Ello, Matt Skraby doing some dance there. Didn't quite catch all of it. What are we calling that? The teddy bear?
An embarrassing white person dance.
That's exactly what it is.
say.
During the Skraby show, I forget I'm on camera and I hear the rejoin music and I'm like dancing to it and I realize how bad I am. So
That's not good.
Not bad, man. It's dancing is a feeling. You know, if it makes you feel good, it's all that matters, man.
You know, rhythm was not something that I was born with. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest about that.
At least you're honest. With
You know, it's
yourself.
funny.
That's
You didn't get in an awful lot of lines the day they were handing stuff out. Rhythm, reading the room, politeness. You missed a lot of those things. So,
Did anybody get the license plate of that bus that just ran over me? Because that was.
He said that you weren't in the line for much.
Well, at least I was in the line for hair. Hey-o!
I was too. But mine didn't.
I know,
last
I-
long.
in that line.
Mine didn't
I know
last
I'm
too
making
long.
fun of Tony as well when I say
Two
that.
of us
so.
weren't in that line, so chill out.
Hey,
Kyle Hart.
Tony's the only one who got Major League Baseball skills in the line. So.
Yes, he is.
Anyway.
He is. All right.
Yeah, I don't dispute that. Kyle Hart will join us here shortly. Talk about his schedule, possibly when we can expect to see him on the mound. He was a late addition to the roster. Find out what it was like to hear from Schilt and AJ Preller when he got the nod that he was going to be on this roster tonight. Dylan Cease on the bump for the Padres. You mentioned it a little bit. Michael didn't have his best day yesterday against a very good Braves lineup. Nonetheless, was able to get, I think it was 83 pitches he ended up throwing.
Yeah.
And the Padres, although he did not throw well, the bullpen threw excellent coming in.
Tony, I saw something, maybe I take a shot here, and maybe I'm completely wrong. I thought Michael King's stuff was almost too good yesterday, and I said so after the game. The only reason I said that is because he was struggling to control it, and it felt like it was moving so much, and even out of the strike zone, pitches he thought were going to be strikes were not ending up in the strike zone. And I always, when Elias Diaz was struggling to even catch some of those pitches, they had so much late action on them. He ended up with 2 wild pitches, which is one more than he had all of last season. Could that have been the case yesterday? Or is it as simple as just saying, wasn't his day?
Well, I think there were a couple different factors. I don't think Adrian Johnson was doing. He wasn't behind home plate.
No.
I thought Elias, he struggled a little bit early. I think he finally got the rhythm that he may have needed, but he certainly wasn't at his best yesterday either. And I think, Michael wasn't necessarily commanding the baseball as well. And so it was probably more of a combination of all those things going. Plus, you got the adrenaline from opening day and trying to, harness that while you're out there. It was kind of probably a mix of all those. Plus, a very good lineup on the other side. It wasn't like he had, some slouches up there yesterday that he was trying to get out. So, combination of all that, I think, played a factor in, him not necessarily throwing the ball the way that I would imagine that he wanted to throw it, but he was good enough, and we had the other pitchers to kind of support him yesterday. And that's really going to be, Dylan could come out today and throw six innings of ball, and it'd just be, it'd be just as scripted. But he may not, and the bullpen is set up in a way where they can have a chance to come in and do exactly as they did yesterday. All right, let's get to our Friar Friday guest of the day. Kyle Hart joins us, Padres starter. Kyle, how's your Friday going, man? Welcome to San Diego.
Hey, I appreciate it. Friday's good so far. Took my daughter to the zoo, best zoo in the country, so we got acquainted out there. It's been great.
Now, before we move this along further, I noticed that you're from Cincinnati. I got to ask you, you're a fan of Skyline Chili before we really get rolling in this bad boy.
I'm a huge fan. In the off season, I'm there at least once a week. Most weeks, twice.
Okay.
A man who knows what good food is.
Yeah, Skraby's a Cincinnati guy.
Are you now? Can I ask? Are you a Gold Star guy at all, or is it just okay? See, I told you guys.
He said no,
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes,
straight up, man.
So real quick, Schwarber is a good buddy of mine, and he likes Gold Star. Him and his wife like Gold Star, and I won't. When we go there, I won't even eat it. I'll be like, you guys get what you want. Let's go.
Man, I was going to make a presentation to Gold Star today to see if they would promote our show, but that's not going to happen now.
Nope.
Kyle Hart is with us. Kyle, congratulations making this club from Korea to San Diego. A year over there. Tell us how it was for you, 2024. Did you ever think, man, it's going to be really hard to get back? Or did you know that this was kind of the thing that you needed to kind of get you prepared to get back to the big leagues?
To be honest, I was just happy with the opportunity to continue playing last year, and it wasn't even on my radar to kind of come back until later in the season. Obviously, Eric Fetty, he was on the same team that I was the year prior, so a lot that kind of got brought up to me relatively early, but I was able to kind of push that down for a while. And then as the season progressed, I realized it may be a possibility. But going over there, I never really gave it much thought. I was just trying to be the best pitcher I could be at the time.
Kyle, so often we've seen guys, whether it's Korea or Japan, go over there and something click for them. Something happened where they come back. They are a much more effective pitcher at the big league level. What was it for you that you felt like kind of got you back in rhythm and got you to this point where you can come in and be of help to a big league starting rotation?
Yeah, I definitely I had a couple things click. The sweeper, I think, is definitely an improved pitch for me. I think just using two different types of fastballs and how to use those was a big deal. But honestly, it's just being given the opportunity to go out every 5 or 6 days and throw 90 to 100 pitches. I think that's something that you, as somebody that was getting pushed out of the game and barely getting opportunities in AAA at times, like when you just know, hey, this is my day, I got to go out and do it. I think that helped me build my confidence back up. And that's one of the things I'm looking forward to kind of carrying into this season.
Kyle Hart is with us, Padres' brand new left-handed starting pitcher. And Kyle, you can probably write the book on all of the little towns and cities in America now. Since 2016, let's see, Salem, Greenville, Portland, Pawtucket, Portland, Worcester, Portland, Tacoma, Lehigh Valley. What do you think of when you think back to all of that time, all of that travel, and now today? It probably feels like it was all worth it.
No, it certainly does. That's a great question. I think it shows how resilient my wife is. That would be
Sure.
That would be number one. I'm not sure if she's listening. So, no, to be fair too, Boston has two of my favorite all-time minor league cities, Greenville, and then Portland, Maine is, if anybody's been up there, it's an amazing spot too. But yeah, it's a lot of travel. And then obviously going over to Korea last year, my wife's dragging a 12-month-old over on a 15-hour flight. So I've been around a little bit, but just really looking forward to being in this city. I mean, San Diego may be my favorite town of them all, and I've been here for 4 days. So looking forward to working my butt off and helping this team and just hopefully being in one city for an entire year. That would be amazing.
Padre pitcher Kyle Hart spending some time with us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Kyle, I mean, you've gotten a chance now to have a full spring training. You're 4 days into your big league season. What is your thoughts working with Ruben Niebla? We always hear from all the starters how much they enjoy working with him. What have you been able to garner so far, and what it's been like working with Ruben Niebla?
I think the number one thing I've noticed with Ruben is he really instills confidence in all of us. So whatever you're good at, he wants you to know and believe that you're good at it, and he wants you to go out and execute what you're good at. And I think that's just something that's lost at times in this game, especially for me. It's like maybe you're trying to gain more velo, or you want to get more depth on your changeup. He's just like, be you, do what you do well, and be proud of it. And I think that's the biggest thing I've taken away from spring training. And that's the entire pitching group, with Chris and Peter Somerville and Fritzy. And so I think just instilling confidence in us has been an amazing kind of feature of this pitching group so far.
Kyle, I saved this story for last, just in case, you didn't take it as well as I thought you did.
Uh-oh.
But I got to come clean. I was the guy sitting out on the back patio with my back to you a week and a half ago. I'm talking to Skraby over here, and we were talking about who was going to be the number 5 starter of the Padres. And I think I said, maybe it'll be Waldron, maybe it'll be Vasquez, maybe it'll be Brito. And I didn't see you walking behind me. And you raised your own arm and said, well, don't forget about me. And then I said, oh, yes, of course, Kyle Hart. So I had to come clean on that one, but I didn't forget about you, thanks to you being there. And I think for all of us, it's a great story, because all of us can I think understand 19th round draft choice, 9 years trying to work your way to this point. We can appreciate it, because I don't think anything was given to you. And, I know you're going to make the most of this opportunity. How are you going to put it out of your mind when you step on the hill, and get that first start this year?
That's a good question, and that was really funny. I was just it was like perfect timing for me to give you a little bit of crap, but my goal, and to answer your question, I want to succeed for the guys in this clubhouse. I think like having a full spring training with them and seeing the culture that they have, I just want so badly to do well for my teammates and for the staff. And I think when you're driven by something like that, it's easy to put some of this other stuff out of your mind. But there is a part of me that I want to go out and pitch well because I want to make AJ Preller look like a genius. I want to make him look like I was the right guy the whole time, So you're always thinking about those things, but at the end of the day, like I know how much baseball and this team means to this city, and I'm trying to get on board as fast as possible with this culture and just, helping us get this first World Series and get that going. So I'd be lying if I told you I don't think about it, but I think just wanting to succeed for these guys kind of trumps everything when you're in the moment.
I got to say, I mean, based on listening to you speak here today, much like many of the other signings that AJ has pulled off, you seem to fit in quite well, Kyle. We appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us. Good luck, man. You certainly got the city behind you as you get ready to make your first start.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a great day. Hopefully we're 2-0 after tonight, all right?
Thanks, Kyle.
Love to see it. Thank you, Kyle. Kyle Hart,
Very
Padre starter in the rotation. Not sure he has an official time, but my guess would be Monday. I mean,
yeah, they still haven't announced the starter for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Although Nick Pivetta, we know, is going to pitch Sunday, and then Monday we don't know. So it'll be Vasquez and Kyle one way or the other.
Yeah.
When Mike Schilt and Ruben
right,
decide to tell us.
Let's get to break. Is there anything specific, Skraby, we're going to next? I haven't seen the rundown. It hasn't popped up on my docs yet.
We got a little bit of a potpourri for you, Tony, and I got a special surprise for you when we come
I'm
back.
sure you do, Mr.
I bet you
Ello.
know what it is, too.
Do you know what it is?
He knows.
Yes, I know what it is.
He knows, and
Oh.
we'll tell everybody else what it is when we he's supposed to say, take us out.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
it's fine.
More Gwynn and Chris on the inside.
Gwynn and Chris.
was the time. It's not a surprise to me that our Friar Friday interview was a great guy. Because really, the Padres have a bunch of them. And the latest is Kyle Hart. Hard not to root for a guy that was in the minor leagues for 9 years, had to go to Korea last year, came back, was a 19th round draft choice. Now he's getting his first, big chance. So to me, it's easy to root for those guys. He will indeed start Monday, Tony. I guess Vasquez is getting the start tomorrow, so we can update the Padre fans on that.
I told you guys that already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I wasn't listening, which is not a shock.
It was a day or so ago.
Oh, you told me a day or so ago that.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Don't be sad.
Wow.
No, I'm sad that I don't.
This went dark.
I'm sad that I don't remember that. Here come the Rockies. They're leading Tampa Bay 2-0, the only game going today. In the 7th inning, Kyle Freeland is having a nice game, 2 hits and 7 strikeouts through 6 innings for him. One other game, the women's NCAA, Maryland giving the defending champs South Carolina all they want right now. Second quarter, Maryland leads over South Carolina, heavily favored, 30-26. All right, Tony, I think I deserve props because it was almost impossible for me not to celebrate with a text to you this morning. And now you guys know me. I taped the game and didn't watch this until this morning, but I held off because I know if it happened to my side, I would not be happy. But here's what happened in Chicago last night. Tony, cover your ears.
I don't need to cover it. I already heard it.
2 seconds left. Game for the win. I cannot believe this. Elizabeth, I'm coming, baby.
What is happening to this guy?
I'll tell you what's happening.
I want to see it again.
Bulls are out of timeouts. 2 seconds left. Give it for the win.
Tony, did you see that? Did you want to see it again?
I doubt he did. I doubt he wants to see it. That was the Bulls' call of that. And what you may have heard in the background was Stacey King, the color analyst, going, Elizabeth, I'm coming. It's the big one. That is a reference to the old famous comedy show Sanford and Son. Red Fox used to pretend he was having a heart attack, and he would say, Elizabeth, I'm coming. It's the big one. So that's what Stacey King was yelling, which was kind of funny, I thought. But yes, the Bulls beat the Lakers, Tony, and it wasn't just that shot. It was the fact that they, came from 18 points behind, et cetera, et cetera. So
can I take this one?
Of course.
I don't often. I don't know that I've ever been critical of LeBron, but he had the worst, 2-minute stretch probably of his entire career.
He did. Yeah.
He turned it over twice. One of them, the turnover that allowed them to take the lead initially, was just I don't know if he I don't even want to say this because it could mean terrible because he hasn't played well really the last 3 games. He's had a rough go of it. Ironically, it coincides with this whole Stephen A. Smith thing and him beefing. But Chris watched it. The turnover he had that gave the Bulls the ball and they took the lead on a 3. I don't know that I've ever seen him make that kind of turnover.
Me neither.
It was just like a lazy inbound pass that I don't even know that his teammate ever had a chance to really get. The Bulls were on it like a piranha.
Yeah, it was very unlike LeBron James. That's what made it so shocking.
Yeah.
And you're right. The Bulls hit 2 threes within 2 seconds to go from 5 behind to 1 ahead. And then the Lakers ran a great inbound play with 6 seconds left. Everyone was looking for LeBron or Doncic, and they gave it to Austin Reeves, went right in almost for a layup. And the Bulls had no timeouts. All they could do was throw up the half-court shot. And it was a great finish. Look, I'm going to say this right now. For the Bulls, that's the highlight of their season. And I don't think there's going to be too many more highlights. For the Lakers, there's still something to play for. But for one night, it was kind of fun to be a Bulls fan again.
I don't know that I've ever seen a team win on a last-second shot the night before, and then the very next night lose on a half-court shot. I think LeBron
Yeah.
LeBron tipped in the game winner the night
Mhm.
before against the Pacers, and then the very next night,
Yeah.
what's my man's name?
Josh Giddey.
Giddy.
Yes.
Giddy threw up a half-court prayer and didn't even touch rim.
No, he didn't. I think they said
So
it was
irritating.
The 5th. Yeah, it would be irritating for the Lakers for
I can
sure.
hear it in your voice.
No, it had to be. I mean, look, JJ Redick said devastating.
If I'm being real honest, I stopped watching the game.
Yeah,
I
they were
found
way
this
ahead.
out.
Yeah,
I found this out on Instagram. Watching,
Oh, you did.
watching Gilbert Arenas. He had a live stream. He's a huge Laker fan, and he was cutting up. And then that shot went in, and he immediately turned his stream off. He didn't even have nothing to say. He was so pissed off. That's how I found out.
Yeah. Now it was quite the NBA game. If you haven't seen the shot or the last 12 seconds of the game, it's one of the crazier finishes you'll ever see in the NBA. A couple of other NBA notes. I don't know if you guys saw Indiana last night scored $162 to beat Washington in regulation. 162 points was the most scored in an NBA game in 17 years. And one more note in the NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies fired their coach today.
What?
Yeah, Taylor Jenkins has been given the heave-ho.
Aren't they in the top 4?
Yeah. Well, let me see exactly where they are because it changes almost daily. Yes, they're tied for 4th. They actually have the same record as the Lakers. They're tied for 4th.
And they fired him?
Yeah, they fired their coach today. And the reports out of Memphis say that he'd run his course. I'm like, really? Now? Like with 8 games to go in the season when you're going into the playoffs? So
How long has he been the coach for?
about 5 years.
Well,
He's had success.
It doesn't help that his star player kept getting suspended early on in his career either.
Well,
They still were playing well enough to be in the playoffs.
Oh, they're going to be in the playoff anyway. That was kind of a strange move, but that was the NBA stuff today. Did you watch any March Madness yesterday? I think the Padre fans are so into the opening day that March Madness took a big time back seat last night.
Yeah, San Diego State's not in it in opening day, so
Right.
that's a difference over the last couple of years. I would say I watched. I turned in to watch Maryland get throttled in the second half. I saw Alabama freaking gunning threes from all over the land as they whooped whoever that was they played.
Yeah, BYU. Come on.
I wasn't mad about that one.
No,
either,
thank you, BYU, for playing no defense at all. I said it watching the game last night. Now, Alabama scored 113 points. They made 25 threes, which is a record for a tournament game. But now they're going to play Duke. And I think what happened to them last night was probably the worst thing that could happen, Tony, because there's no way they're going to get opening shots like that against Duke. I mean,
that might be the only way they could beat
Duke,
Duke, though. That might be the only way they could beat Duke.
Is just make 25 more. But I don't think they can because they're going to be covered. You've seen, 3-pointers are not easy to make when you're wide open, but they're a lot easier to make than they are if you're covered. I don't think Duke's going to give them those same looks. So we'll see. That's tomorrow. And the other game last night, I felt bad for the Sauce. The Sauce had a 13-point lead with 4 minutes to go. And they gave it up. Texas Tech ended up winning in overtime. So that was actually a pretty good game last night. There are 4 more NCAA tournament games tonight. And that's where things stand there. Tony?
Well,
yes. How's your routine? Like day one into it, were you good yesterday? Did you? I
was good yesterday. I was actually locked in yesterday. I got here early, because inevitably on opening day, people want to say hello. People want to, and that doesn't allow me to a lot of times be comfortable on an open day. But I got here early enough yesterday, and because it's early in the season, I'm not putting down numbers yet. I don't have to put down the name, the position, and then their splits underneath. I don't have to do that because it's so early. I have a rule that I usually wait between 3 weeks and a month before I start putting average, on base, slug, homers.
Don't put all that yet. It's a little early, right? Yeah.
It's a little early. So
I'm
Luis
not
doing
Ariz
that.
is going to say 0-0-0 today, which is just not right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't use standings yet because it's not enough games to really make a difference at this point. So yesterday it was probably one of the first opening days where I felt like I was locked in and ready to go.
Here's a more important question. since he got there at least 22 hours before the first pitch. How did Dave Marcus's equipment work yesterday?
Flawlessly.
All right. That's what I wanted to hear.
Dave Marcus, as you know, was here 48 hours ahead
before,
before game time, so that we didn't have any mishaps. We did not have any mishaps. He also had to have a third chair in here yesterday because Trevor came and joined us for an inning.
Okay.
So he had a lot on his plate. I think that's why he, if you know Dave like I know Dave, he is going to stress until it's where to his liking. And so I think he was able to do that. We had a flawless broadcast yesterday in terms of technical stuff.
Yeah.
Not
a boy, Dave. Not a boy.
Yeah,
biggest story.
Shout out to Dave Marcus.
Of course. Biggest story of the day, or maybe the most ironic story of the day. Tyler O'Neill hits a home run on opening day for the 6th year in a row.
Crazy.
Yeah, that would be something if he was Willie Mays, but he's Tyler O'Neill. I mean, he hits 17, 20 home runs a year. But this is one of the great crazy things I've ever heard of.
It's kind of like the no-hitters.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Lands on the weird people. Yeah.
It can happen to anybody, and it just randomly pops up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's somebody sometimes it's not.
And it was Tyler O'Neill. Incredible story there. You mentioned the White Sox winning 8-1. And that the last two teams to win 8-1 on opening day have gone on to win the World Series. That would be a hell of a stretch if Will Venable gets the World Series, but that was a hell of a good start.
Book a manager of the year if that's the case.
Oh, man. Manager of the century if he does that. Astros beat the Mets 3-1. I'm not getting a dig, but Juan Soto did have a shot at the end. And Josh Hader won the battle.
San Diego's other favorite.
Yeah, right. You couldn't root for anybody in that matchup. Josh Hader struck him out to end the game yesterday for the Astros, but Soto still had his 2 walks, so it was a typical day for Juan Soto there. The Marlins and Pirates had an Alcantara Skeens matchup, which really didn't develop into much. Both guys were out of the game by the 5th inning. Trying to see Arenado hit a home run for the Cardinals after trying to get out of there all summer or all winter. And the Dodgers win again. They're 3-0 now as Teoscar Hernandez turned the game around with a home run off a Skubal. Shohei hit his 2nd. That's not a surprise to anybody.
They're not. They didn't blow the doors off the Tigers. I thought like they were. Everybody's expected. It seemed like.
Yeah, but Blake Snell got the win in that one, by the way, for the Dodgers.
I have to say this. Mm-hmm. I'm really happy for Blake from this standpoint. I don't know that Blake. I don't know that people really know that man idolizes Clayton Kershaw, and so he's getting to be next to a dude that was up on his wall. He won't, Blake's not the type that's finna get all sentimental about that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I saw some pictures posted, and who is he next to? Right next to Clayton Kershaw with a high five. And you can just see it in his face, man. That's like a dude that he grew up idolizing.
Awesome for Blake Snell. That would be would that be weird at all? No? Playing with somebody that you idolize?
It would be weird for the one that's being idolized.
You think it would be weird for Kershaw?
Because he's old.
Because when Blake comes up to him and who's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner comes up to him and is like, hey, man, I just got to tell you this. You were on my wall, man. I like, and it's like Kershaw's thinking yo, that's crazy. I'm playing with somebody.
Yeah.
I'm up on his wall. He's looking at me.
Kershaw's got how many? 3 Cy Youngs, right? So they got a lot between them. Yeah, it's pretty good.
He's got an MVP too, along with his.
Man, Kershaw, what a career. And I'm sure he'll be back at some point. The Dodgers are 3-0. The Giants are 1-0.
Padres are 1-0.
Rockies are winning. They didn't allow the Rockies to compete even on opening day, which I thought was a
Can we talk about this
perfectly appropriate slap in the face for the Rockies. And the Diamondbacks are the only team in the division that lost last night. If you missed it, the Cubs beat them 10-6.
I know there's a couple. This has been going on a couple years, but I do not understand the Thursday game, Friday off day for some of these teams. There are a lot of teams that are off today, and I just don't understand.
I'm explaining it to you. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
They do this because in the Midwest to East, part of the country in April, it rains a lot at this time of year.
That's a good point.
So they put in an off day to give them a chance to make up the game.
That's a great point.
That's why they do it in April, the beginning of April.
Still angry, though, because I want all the teams playing.
But now, I don't understand why
something for Skraby to be angry about.
Of course. I don't understand why the Rockies and Rays, though, wouldn't have played yesterday. That didn't make any sense to me.
They were putting the finishing touches on the minor league
trying to
stadium.
get George Steinbrenner Field
We're
ready
looking
to go.
at it right now, and it just looks amazing.
The Rays are rallying here in the bottom of the 7th inning, 2-1. Rockies on top. Today is the only day that the Rockies will be relevant the whole season. So try to give them a little love here on the program. We've got our daily gambit coming up. We got a good Big Five today, and our countdown a little later will have to do with the best 5 things each of us saw on opening day. So we're going to relive a lot of opening day as the program goes on. So we got all of that. What'd you think of Kyle Hart, Tony? Have you talked to him yet, or was that your first?
That was my first time talking to Kyle.
Yeah.
As advertised. I mean, that's kind of what I've heard about him. He seems very thoughtful as he spoke. Someone that has had some. He's clearly had. He's clearly thought about a lot of the things we asked him before.
Right.
It's not like. Those things hadn't crossed his mind. So, I mean, as I told him, he fits in kind of what we know about the makeup of this roster as is before he joined it.
Well, so far so good.
I love that you. Sorry, I just cut Chris off. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing.
I love that you brought up the fact that we were on the back patio and he walked by and he thought that was funny. That interaction, Chris, showed me what kind of guy he is.
That could have been a really bad
stride.
moment. That could have been bad because I was mentioning every other pitcher but him as he was
walking
out.
You know what Skraby told me when you weren't around? He said, I almost told him, stop talking.
I did, because I thought you were going to be like, I don't know about this Kyle Hart guy. Yeah. What's he going to do?
Right, yeah.
I mean, it was kind of the conversation we were having. It wasn't like you were going to be attacking him, but he was going to be walking by. And I go, what about Kyle Hart?
I've had some magical moments on that patio, including the day that I thought, who was it? Austin Adams was Austin Nola.
Oh, my gosh.
That was another one.
That was one of the most intense moments of my life.
How's your brother doing? What?
He said, my brother?
Yeah, my brother? I don't have a brother.
Why are you asking about a brother that I don't have?
It's like, Chris, you better run right now because he's about to beat you up.
I have a big mouth. You have a big mouth too, but I think I get myself in
I'm
more
very
trouble
aware of my big
publicly
mouth
than you do.
Yes, I'm very aware of my big mouth.
Yeah, the back patio is kind of a scary place sometimes for me, but we survived it again. And we live to fight another day.
Just want to point out we got a lineup in.
Oh, well, that's what I was kind of waiting for one. Let's we got a minute to give it here.
Oh, gosh, I wasn't ready for the lineup. Second day of the season, everybody.
Come on. There we go. Go ahead, Tony.
A few changes.
Oh,
but not at the top,
No.
believe it or not. Toddy will lead off once again. Luis, Manny, Jackson slides up to the 4 spot. Jake, Xander, Gavin Sheets, Jason Hayward, Martin Maldonado.
I think the most thing that stands out to me is that Fernando's in the leadoff spot against a right-handed pitcher,
That's
which
the
means
thing
that's what they're doing.
That's the thing that stands out to me.
Yeah.
At least for now. My guess is that part is fluid. Like if they start to feel like Luis is better off up there against righties, I could totally see that. But why change a good thing after last night? I don't know.
Fernando did not have a single multi-steal game last year, and he had 2 steals yesterday. So it was a good start for him. The only guy that was really left out yesterday was Jake at the plate. He took the collar, but, I don't know how you guys do it. I really don't. I've asked you a million times. How do you go 0 for 4, your team wins, and you come back the next day? It would drive me crazy that I didn't contribute on offense and didn't, had an 0 for 4. And I know you can't do that or you'd never make it in the big leagues,
Did you make a play in the field?
I don't know. I'm just saying I went 0 for 4 and I'm not happy about it.
You that's the thing is it can't be even though it's a results-based business, you can't you can't live on the result.
Yeah.
Or you'll drive yourself crazy.
I know.
Honestly.
I don't know how these
so
guys do it.
You got to find other ways to affect the game. I mean, can you run some bases well? Can you take a run off the board defensively?
Right.
Can you move a runner? I mean, there's so many things that you can do to help your team win if you aren't getting caught up in just results and getting hits.
Yeah, but most of us are.
Well, Chris,
that is true.
Chris had a really during that game that Chris went 0 for 4. He had a really, really nice water bringing to the bullpen for everybody out there. You know, you brought the water out there. That was a good thing.
Talking about, I don't know.
What
you're
are you
saying
talking
now.
about?
I'm just
Trying to be
make
funny
fun of
again.
Chris.
It's trying to be funny again, and it's not working.
You guys just didn't understand the joke.
No, we did. You're right. I did not know where you were going.
Everybody who understood it is like laughing hysterically in their car right now.
I'm giving them
Is
a
it
moment.
me?
I'm giving them a moment to finish their chuckle before
Okay.
Oh my gosh! Why did? Oh, I am all over the place, guys. We are so far over. Why didn't
That's
anybody
what I
tell
was
me?
like. I was like, yo, what are we waiting on?
I don't know.
we're waiting on everybody to finish laughing. Gwynn and Chris, Daily Gambit coming up. Stick around.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
Indeed, they are. Happy Friday. Happy Friar Friday.
Happy Tuesday to you, Tony.
Nobody knows about that but us, guys.
Welcome into this Tuesday show. It's City Connect Tuesday, everybody.
It's City Connect Tuesday. No, City Connect. Ooh, I a couple of things. I saw. I'll tell you what I'm seeing for my perch. Saw a little Yu Darvish catch happening on the field.
Oh, that's good.
I see some new City Connect hoodie swag.
Ooh.
They changed up the colors, not white this year. They're using the what is it? They calling it the
Mint?
green part of it.
Mint?
What's the
Mint. They
mint.
call it mint.
They're using the mint hoodie this year.
Okay.
Full mint.
I
don't know if it's full mint. I don't know if these are cutoffs because I see yellow sleeves, but it's hard to tell.
I think it's something to remind everybody that this is the last year of the City Connects, right? That
Last
decision
year,
has been
last
made.
year of this version of City Connect.
Right. Yeah. Well, of course, and I'm not. This is not on the Padres. This is on everybody. Of course, they're going to come up with new City Connects once they feel like all of the fans have bought the current City Connects.
Correct.
Because they need to make some new ones and sell some more uniforms. This is how it works, people. Welcome
Correct.
to the world. So
Why are you lecturing me right now?
I'm lecturing the listeners. You already knew that.
Yes. I personally
told.
really like these uniforms. I know that
I do too.
I get messages like at least every week about them, about how they make us look wimpy or something like that.
Oh my God! Please tell me that's not the exact word they used.
No, I couldn't use the word they actually
okay,
used.
I got
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, why don't you use it?
No. I'm not that.
Just
I've
have
been
the
told
buzz-
that
just
you
have the
I've been
buzzer
told
ready.
that you can say anything once. I've been told.
That is not true
Is that true?
because YouTube gets everything. YouTube
Jesse
does
tells
not
me
have
you
a
can say
delay.
anything once. So I
Well,
don't know. Maybe
You
maybe
can,
you can live.
but it's not going to end well because YouTube is live. So anything that happens on our show that we dump makes it to YouTube.
I
Yeah.
see.
Oh, so if you said a bad word, then the people who call it up later on YouTube would be able
Unless
to
I
hear it.
went in and like cut it out. Or
They'd be
something.
cutting that clip up and sending it out everywhere.
Gotcha.
Oh no! If that happened, I would be ending stream and deleting the broadcast as fast as possible. So
All right, well, let's not do that. We better go to our gambit because I know Tony's got to get down and hear
Yeah,
Mike
I got to
Schilt.
roll early. Mr. Schilt.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn. I said Grin and Quith. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna.
You
stop
messed up
talking.
both words.
Yeah,
and
I'm
by
just
the way,
gonna-
305. Mark that,
I'm
please.
just gonna stop talking.
You got two good drops
Hey,
today. You got Tony
at
and now
least-
you.
At least my name is spelled right on the bottom here, so we're good there.
All right. We got Tony Grin. We got Quiz and
Quiz.
the
With a
Tuesday
Q?
edition of.
Is that with a Q? Quiz?
I think so.
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
sure.
It's
I
like
think
it's like Steve Quiz.
yes, he's my uncle, Steve Quiz. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing we don't have the same last name where I'd be Quiz. And
That would be
kind of-
weird. That would be weird. It'd be like Dougie Doug, the actor. We made some bets the other day, but they're kind of old at this point, so we don't really need to review them. We did do a Padres bet, Braves minus 1.5. They were favored in the game.
Yeah.
Tony abstained. Chris and I chose Padres, and Padres win. Also, the strikeout, Sale had 7, and King had 3. Both Chris and I took King, so we did not win that one.
Lost that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it tonight so Tony can get down to see Mike Schilt. Michigan State, NCAA, 3.5 over Ole Miss tonight. Tony, why don't you go? Who do you like there? Michigan State.
I'm gonna take Michigan State.
I am also. I just believe in Tom Izzo at this stage. Although Mississippi's in the SEC, and we know what that means. Skraby, who do you like?
Tom Izzo's speech the other day really spoke to me. So
Tom
I'm gonna
Izzo's
go with him.
really good. All right, we're all taking Michigan State. Tennessee, 4.5 over Tucky.
Tucky.
I'm going to go with Lamont Butler and take the points. I mean, Lamont Butler is a winner. Kentucky beat Tennessee both times during the regular year. Skraby?
That's why he. What did you just? Sorry, I got a text message and it just.
He's not paying attention at all.
It's just like, come on, people.
Tennessee 4.5 over Kentucky.
Thank you for resetting this brain, Chris. I'm gonna go Tennessee because you can't beat a team 3 times.
All right, Tony.
I'm going Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Auburn is favored by 8.
Who did you choose?
I took Lamont Butler.
Oh, that's right.
You weren't paying attention.
Yeah, I know.
Auburn's favored by 8.5 over Michigan. Houston's favored by 8.5 over Purdue. So who wins by more, Auburn or Houston tonight? Skraby, you're first. And if either one loses, that obviously eliminates them from this.
I'm going to go Houston.
Houston wins by more.
Houston's playing Purdue. Who's the other one playing?
Auburn's playing Michigan. They're both 8.5 point favorites. Who wins by more?
I'm taking Auburn.
You think Auburn wins by more?
Yeah.
Tony says Auburn. I'm going to say also Houston wins by more. I think Michigan might give them a game. Tomorrow, Florida's favored by 6.5 over Texas Tech. Duke is favored by 6.5 in their game over Alabama. So who wins by more tomorrow? Duke or Florida? I say Duke. If Alabama's going to just not make threes tomorrow, I say Duke wins by more. Tony. Duke or Florida wins.
I was like, what is he doing?
He's doing his Gator
chomp.
All right. Gators win by more. Skraby?
Gators win by more.
Gators, I'm going to, now that I know that coached USF, I'm all about Todd Golden.
You're all about Todd Golden. All right.
Florida.
LSU women tonight, 3.5 over NC State. Tony, you're first. LSU women are the 3 seed. NC State's the 2 seed, but yeah, I get. I'm going with LSU. They look pretty darn good. Skraby?
Yeah, LSU looks
amazing. All right, and one more. Golden State's favored by 17 at New Orleans. Denver's favored by 18 over Utah tonight at home. Who wins by more? Golden State. Golden State, says Tony.
Sorry, I didn't get the last.
Who wins by more, Golden State or Denver tonight?
Denver, okay. I'll go with Golden State.
I'm going to go, fellas.
All right,
Tony.
See you, Tony. We'll see you later. Thank you. We'll have Tony back on the show for our countdown and Big Five. So we'll have a lot more of Tony. I think you guys both took Golden State there.
Yes.
I'm going to take Denver because they're at home. Golden State's on the road.
Denver. All right.
We do have a bit of an upset brewing here in this NCAA tournament game. On the women's side, there have been very few upsets on the women's side. This would qualify. Right now, Maryland is leading the defending national champion, South Carolina, third quarter, 43-39.
Okay.
It's a 4-point lead, but they are ahead. Most people thought South Carolina would win in a blowout.
Yeah, they usually do.
They usually do. Right now, Maryland's got the lead. We'll keep you up to date on that. The one baseball game, Rockies and Rays, 2-2, bottom of the 8th. And bad news for the Pirates, Nick Gonzalez, their starting second baseman, fractured arm, placed on the injured list today. Yeah, that just came down here a minute ago that I saw. So
that's a bummer.
If you got your fantasy baseball draft tomorrow, act appropriately on Nick Gonzalez because he just went to the IL with the broken arm, fractured arm, as they say. All right, it's great. Ready?
The traffic's not
quite ready.
No.
It was a big day for our friends in Cuba yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
26 Cuban players, an all-time record, made the opening day rosters yesterday. Japan had 12, most they've had in 13 years. And overall, just to tell everybody that it is the global game now. I know baseball doesn't promote itself like
America's pastime.
Right. It's America's pastime. Basketball is the one that says, oh, we're the global sport. And hockey says we're the global sport. 265 players from outside the United States were on opening day rosters. That's a lot, right? 265.
Yeah, that is a lot, yeah.
So, baseball is going pretty global as well.
Oh, it's definitely getting more global.
It's getting there.
By the year.
And by the way, I saw that Rod Manfred. Yeah. He said that the Dodger Cubs games in Japan.
Yep.
Most successful thing he's ever seen in his life.
No, of course.
Had the highest ratings, had the most money brought in, had the most attention.
Hey, Rob, you know what wasn't successful? Opening day TV in the United States.
I heard it crashed.
It didn't just crash. It blocked out every single fan from watching their team on opening day. This dude is glowing about Japan when he can't even deliver the product to his own country.
Not taking care of his own peeps.
What in the world?
Not taking care of his own peeps. Come on, Rob. I mean, the people in Japan got to see their first opening day. We didn't get to see our first opening day.
Yeah,
Unless you're like me and you have cable. Then you didn't have to worry about it.
I mean, yeah, I was able to watch, but it's like some teams in the Big Five, the Guardians were a team where they can only be seen on MLB TV. Their fans could not see.
Basically, MLB TV didn't work yesterday.
Yeah.
That was a bad start.
Yeah.
But in Japan, the game was a success. So who cares about Americans, Rob?
No.
The national pastime, America's pastime.
I should stop talking right now.
Yeah, we probably should.
Because I have a whole rant for Rob Manfred one of these days.
Okay.
I don't know what his legacy is going to be, but it's going to be messing up the game because he's got to get this CBA done. He's got to get this TV thing done. And he's sitting talking about how great Japan was. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Apparently, you're all caught up in all of the stuff you got to download over there.
I'm not.
You are now riled up on the show. You were very quiet for the first hour and 15 minutes.
I know. But now I have to be there for you.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
More Gwynn and Chris after traffic at the bottom of the hour. A fun countdown talking about things we loved about opening day yesterday at Petco Park. Gwynn and Chris rolls on. Today.
There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec'd out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble. And Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well. But our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well. So Chris says I can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Scrape. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
We are just leaving 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel. He wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Maybe
don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time. There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec'd out here at the Aztec Baseball tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Scrape. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are leaving 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off the birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel, but he wants to attack me. Curly! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Scrappy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble, and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us, and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time. There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec'd out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in
women's side. Late third quarter, Maryland 50, South Carolina 48. So could have a major shocker in the women's tournament. Men's Sweet 16 continues tonight. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. will rejoin us here in just a moment as we will get into our countdown of the top 5 things we saw yesterday at opening day. There was a lot of good stuff at Petco Park along with the game, which was pretty good too. Huh?
I said tons of good stuff.
It really was. And I did get a kick out of my guy Sam Levitt yesterday.
What did he do?
Well, he was great as always. But you know, when you're in our profession, what you and I do, and you say so many things, sometimes something you say is kind of so crazy that you don't notice it when it comes out of your mouth. But
do you know who you're talking to?
Yeah, I know you know this. Sam Levitt said, quote yesterday, if Gavin Sheets keeps doing this, he'll probably be here all year long. And I thought, well, I gotta say, if he hits a home run every game, the rest of the season, he will definitely stay here all year. So, Sam, you're absolutely 100% right about that. Padres, this is homestand number 1 of the season, as you know. Braves are first, but then the guards come into town.
Yes, they do.
For games on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And the Padres have a lot of stuff they're giving away. In fact, this Monday, Skraby's got it over there. Do you have it? Man, you're like the first to get one of these things.
I know. I'm very excited about this. I'm being a Price is Right model.
Okay, wait,
right
where's
now.
the bat?
It's probably over there.
You didn't connect the bat?
I need to find the bat.
Find the bat. Jackson Merrill bobblehead this Monday. And it's the first Jackson Merrill bobblehead in a Padre uniform. So you're definitely gonna get this. Monday's game against the Guards at 6:40. And is it the usual thing where you want to get there a little early?
Yes, definitely. You want to get there early
because it's the first 40,000 fans in attendance.
And we know that there's like 45,000 that can fit in there. Also, a little PSA. Don't take 9 or 10 of these. Like some people, I see people leaving Petco sometimes with like 10 bobbleheads.
How do they get so many? Don't they just give one to each customer as they come in the door?
Yeah, but there's ways of getting it. People will give you theirs or whatever. You know,
well,
I just want.
Whoa! All right, if I have a bobblehead,
yes,
and I ask you for one, and you give it to me, now I have 2. Why would you be mad? Why would somebody should be mad at me? You gave it to me. I asked you, you gave it to me. You think the people
because
are
you don't need to?
Maybe I want to. Maybe I want one.
You
for
don't
home.
get to. Your ticket gives you one.
Maybe I want one for home, one for the office. I'm just asking. You can say no. You can say no. I would like to keep my own bobblehead.
Here's how it works, Chris. You can take your Jackson Merrill bobblehead home from the office each day and then put it in your house because you only get one due to tickets.
I will. All right. I'm gonna go on your side for the second. Sometimes when I'm walking out after a bobblehead day, people are trying to sell their bobbleheads already.
What?
I should take it back. People are trying to buy your bobbleheads already.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You walk out, you got your brand new Jackson Merrill bobblehead. There's some guy standing on the corner. He says, I'll give you $10 for the bobblehead. He's thinking it's going to be a great collector's item 30 years from now.
Yeah.
And the $10 is going to be well spent.
I don't think it will.
I just don't know. I mean, it's a cool little item to have. It's a bobblehead.
It is a bobblehead. That is for sure.
I'm kind of fired up for the Jackson. In fact, I think we should put this one up.
Oh, I'm taking this one home with me.
You're taking it home.
Yeah. Can't find his bat, though. Somewhere. People buy multiple tickets, Skraby. Yes, I understand that. But I'm talking about the people with 10 bobbleheads. You didn't buy 10 tickets, sir. And you're not carrying 10 bobbleheads. I don't see 10 people with you.
Monday, April 14th, when the Padres get back home, that Monday night will be the Aloha shirt night, which I believe is one of the more popular items of the year.
It sure is. Also, we have, when's the hat being given out?
I don't have the date on that. I have a sheet that says they're going to be giving hats out this year, but I don't have the exact date for that.
Okay, well, here's the hat, everybody. It's a nice yellow Padres hat. It looks
opening
really good.
Series hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Yes, that's right now. Yes, you get that tonight.
Yes.
All right.
Right here.
Opening Series hat. Says Padres on it, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, is it interesting, Chris? It's going to say Padres. I do like this hat, though.
Golden color.
This is actually a very nicely made hat. I have a.
Why don't you, if you're gonna be a Price is Right, model the thing. You got to put it on. No, you put it on. I want to see how it looks on you.
Let's see.
All right, getting all the. Yeah. No,
there we go.
It's not bad.
It's a little snug on the back of my head.
Well, then let me loosen it up.
I will. There was one a couple years ago where Fernando got a hat that they gave away, and I used that as my dog walking hat for a good year long.
Yeah,
I love them.
I love the giveaways for the people that love a giveaway item. I don't care for the fact that there are some people that feel like I'm only going to the game if I get a giveaway item. Like that kind of throws me off.
Yeah, the giveaways.
To me, the best part about going to the game is to see the game.
Yes.
But I think there are people that honestly think the best part of going Monday night will be to get the Jackson Merrill bobblehead. And, I'll take in the game while I'm there. That's where I don't see it the same way as people. Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not, I do like the bobbleheads and I do like the giveaways because they do really have some high quality giveaways. Last year, one of the most popular ones that I still see is the 97.3 The Fan Poncho that was given out last year. I still see those all over the place in Peoria during the game. I see people walking in them, walking their dogs in them. Tyler says, so should I even bother wearing another hat down to the ballpark tonight? I don't think so. If you're going to get this hat.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yes, today would be a day not to wear a hat because you're going to get one when you get there.
Yes.
I hadn't thought of that.
Well, I guess I have to take this hat home now that it's been on my head, right?
It wouldn't bother me, but it'd probably bother some other people. So, yeah, you better take it home. Because we're a little germ crazy in this country, if you haven't noticed.
I don't think we're germ crazy. I think we're just cautious. You're the only one who's not germ crazy.
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's so weird to me.
If you want to give me that hat, I'll put it right on my head right now.
Would you walk into a public restroom with no shoes?
Probably not, just because that's dirty
Okay.
though. That's just a dirty thing. That's not a germ thing.
Okay. All right. There's two different classifications for you then.
Wait till you see the highlights later tonight. I mean, if you're tuned in like to Quick Pitch or one of those things, of the Rockies and the Rays game, which is being played at the minor league ballpark or the spring training home of the Yankees. It just looks really, really off.
It does look off.
It just doesn't look right at all.
We're going to get the A's ballpark in our view pretty soon.
Padres are there a week from Monday, I believe.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, take on not the Sacramento Athletics, not the Las Vegas.
Just the Athletics.
Just the Athletics.
They don't have a city because they're so synonymous with everything in life.
You know, the Athletics have been a little bit of everywhere. They began the franchise in Philadelphia. They then went to Kansas City and then to Oakland.
I knew that. I knew all of that, actually.
All right.
Weren't the Warriors in Philadelphia, too?
Yes. Philadelphia Warriors became the San Francisco Warriors, and then the Philadelphia 76ers started after that.
Cole says on the chat, quote, "That's a dirty thing, not a germ thing." That's the same thing, Chris.
You think?
Dirt and germs are the same, I think.
All right, I guess. Cole, I'll give it to you, but I don't care about getting a germ by walking into a public restroom.
I wish I had more.
I just wouldn't walk with my bare feet in there because there's just could be stuff on the floor that I don't want to step in.
I wish.
Does that make any sense?
Yes. I wish I had that in me, Chris. I really do.
No, I think you should get it. There's still time.
I don't know if I can develop that. I'll probably throw up if I walked into a bathroom with no shoes on.
When we come back, we're going to revisit opening day. What a day. And we'll all have our countdown of the top 5 things we saw and loved about opening day. It's next on Gwynn and Chris.
Saturday show will be live at Tom's.
think of
Yeah,
one.
I don't remember one. There's now been one, though, today.
Oh, all right.
Tampa Bay just walked off with a home run to beat Colorado 3-2. The home run was hit by Cameron Meisner. This is a young guy he's a 27-year-old rookie who had 15 big league at-bats prior to today. Had one hit in those 15 at-bats. Made the Tampa Bay Rays as a backup outfielder. Came into the game as a defensive replacement. First at-bat, long gone. So Tampa Bay wins 3-2. The Rockies take their rightful place in the NL West cellar.
Very fitting for the Rockies.
Yeah, pretty much. South Carolina 57, Maryland 56. This is a heck of a game. Going down to about 8.5 minutes to go in the NCAA Women's Sweet 16. Earlier today, Duke beat North Carolina. I think it was 47-38. Very low scoring game, as if I need to say that. Just the fact that the score was 47-38 tells you it was low scoring.
Yeah, but I guess you could put it in a little bit more context. Women's basketball is a little bit different in that way.
They score more than that usually.
What do you think the average score is? Oh, there's the home run for him right there.
You just saw it on
MLB Network.
MLB Network, hitting it up into the rafters of the minor league ballpark at George Steinbrenner Field.
Can you imagine when they get to August and they're playing a game outdoor? I cannot get over that because that is going to be brutal.
And the mugginess of Florida.
Yes. The mugginess of Florida is the key.
Welcome to mosquitoes and serious. Now I can't. You know when I forget a word, and it's the easiest word of all time.
Humidity?
Thank you. That was the word.
I was like, what?
Yeah, like I know the word, but it happens. Yeah, the humidity in Florida in the summer is going to be horrible.
It is going to be horrible. That's for
Good
sure.
luck to the Rays as the season goes along. They win 3-2.
Padres don't. Oh no, they went there last year, so they don't go there this year.
Rays will come here this year.
Oh, they do in the end of April.
Padres do get their trip to Athletics, though.
They do.
A
Okay,
week from
good.
Monday.
I'm happy that they're going to be able to go to Athletics.
One quick football note before we get to today's countdown. Harbaugh has been extended. John Harbaugh, that is.
Oh, really?
Ravens coach extends 3 years through 2028.
Really?
He has been the head coach. You want to take a guess how long?
Oh, I know. It's a long time. 20 years?
It will be 20 after he's done with his contract. He's got 17 years now.
That's crazy.
There's only one coach who's been with his team longer.
Ooh,
18 years.
Why can't I think
Who
of
is it?
Oh, gosh. Why can't I think of it right now? It's not Kyle Shanahan.
I guarantee him Michael Valenzuela is screaming at you right now.
Mike Tomlin.
Yes, Mike Tomlin, 18 years.
Yeah, 18 years too long.
Harbaugh's, he's only got, it seems like he's got more. But they got the one Super Bowl in 2012. That was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
But they've had 12 playoff bursts during his time, which is second most behind Andy Reid. I'd say John Harbaugh's had a good career.
I think he's doing okay.
Jim Harbaugh as well. But Harbaugh...
Only success was with the 49ers. Are we serious?
And he did call the fade to... Crabtree 4 plays in a row.
Didn't try to run his Hall
of Fame running back.
That and his elusive quarterback. They didn't try. No, they just threw a fade to Crabtree.
Threw the stupid fade to Crabtree.
And he didn't learn.
And lost the Super Bowl.
He didn't learn in Seattle the year before. It doesn't work.
Fade is the dumbest play in football.
It is the dumbest play in football.
I've said it. And every time I see one, they back me up. Works about 1 out of 50 times.
Yeah, it does. I don't get it either. Unless you have someone who's like 6'9".
Yes, if you have Megatron, throw it up.
Yeah, that will be fine. But don't throw it up to 6'3" Crabtree.
6'3"? He can't be that tall. Crabtree?
Maybe. I don't know.
He
was kind of a bust.
The Dolphins like to lob it up there to Tyreek Hill. I mean, like what? He's 5'8".
Good point.
By the way, did you see Michael Johnson, the great Olympic sprinter, said that Tyreek Hill is going to lose that match race against was it Noah Lyles, the Olympic champion?
Yes.
Says Tyreek Hill will lose that by at least 10 yards.
I don't think he's wrong.
I don't either, because Tyreek Hill will not get out of the blocks. Noah Lyles will be so far ahead at the start that Tyreek will never have a chance.
I know this race is like the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. It's like 5 years too late.
My luck, Tyreek will pull a groin, and that'll be it for the season.
And he'll blame someone else.
That's right. All right, let's check traffic, and then today's countdown. It'll be fun looking back at yesterday's opening day.
It's now time for Gwynn and Chris to rank their top 5 of the day.
Gonna grip and rip as usual.
But this isn't just a regular top 5 list.
I love it. It sounds sadistic, but I love it.
This is the countdown. And it starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, countdown time on a Friday here on Gwynn and Chris. And, of course, Padres getting ready for Game 2 of 162 tonight against the Atlanta Braves. But yesterday, glorious opening day at Petco Park, and I thought it would be kind of fun. And also, I didn't really have to think too hard to come up with this one like I usually do. Just top 5 moments from opening day, Padres opening day. And I think we all looked at the game probably from a little different perspective. So maybe we came up with some of the same things, but maybe we saw some different things that others didn't see.
Okay.
So here we go. Top 5 things from Padres opening day.
Number 5.
We'll start with the person who's actually at the game, Tony Gwynn Jr. What do you got, Tony, for your number 5 thing you saw on opening day?
Number 5 on my list of things I saw on opening day. I don't know if I was surprised, but I was happy to see it. And that was I guess the word's hope. Being stuck in the studio all off season and listen to people complain and be so down on what the off season would look like, you could come into an opening day thinking, all right, people are like waiting to be mad about something. But it all in all seemed like what was it, 45,000 worth of people that
How about that?
all were hopeful about the San Diego Padres and what they could do this year. That may have been because it's opening day and everybody feels like that. But I want to believe that, maybe people, I think it's easy to believe actually that sometimes the sentiment on X or in social media is not the actual sentiment of everybody.
Yeah. You should have heard the call-ins to Sam Levitt's postgame show, Tony, if you wanted to hear hopeful.
World Series?
Oh, yeah, we're in.
Well, we are in. You can go to the other way, too, because I had a friend text me saying that it was a little shaky there at the end, but we got it.
Yeah, I know. You had one of those.
That
what do you got,
like San Diego right there.
Yeah.
What you got for number 5?
My
sir?
number 5 is just like the feeling of opening day, even though I wasn't there. I was so excited yesterday waking up knowing that there was going to be a ton of baseball on. I was going to get my fantasy lineup set. I was going to lose a bunch of money on FanDuel yesterday. I was going to do all of that yesterday.
And
I was
you
very
did
excited.
lose money.
I did. I chose the wrong guys throughout the entire lineup that I put together.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just excited that baseball's
ended up
back.
closer on their opening day lineup too, by the way. Because Chris
I
and
think it
were
was
pretty
close.
close.
I think we'd have to call it a tie because I had Diaz in instead of Maldonado, but you had
Toddy at leadoff. I think was a
You also had Jackson at fifth though. I had him fourth. So we probably did.
We
probably
were pretty
did have
close.
a tie.
Between the two of us, we got the exact lineup, but you just had to look really hard. My number 5 favorite thing was Brandon Lockridge in his first opening day, saving the game. If he doesn't catch that fly ball in left field, I believe it's into the seats, and I believe it's now 7-3 Atlanta, and I think it might be game over. Jackson Merrill's right behind him for the catch he made the next inning, and I thought it was really funny that Hideki Matsui, and I always call him Hideki Matsui. I did it yesterday. Yuki Matsui.
Just start calling him Matsui.
I know. I'm going to just call him Matsui.
You can't get that one wrong.
I know. Matsui had a spotless inning and 2/3. He faced 5 batters. He gave up 2 home runs, but neither of them left the ballpark. So it was a good day for Matsui. He survived it nicely.
Number 4.
All right, Tony, number 4.
I didn't think that ball was going over.
You didn't think it was?
I thought he was short. That's why he didn't get a star. He had the guy that had time.
Oh, you didn't even give a star? Okay, fair enough. It was a relatively easy catch, but I thought his glove was up above the fence.
Depth perception is a little weird.
I will say the number 4th best thing I saw yesterday was the standing ovation for Jerickson Profar.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was awesome. Not only in the time that he ran out for starting lineups, but his first time to the plate. And typical Jerickson yesterday,
did he milk it a little?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pitch at bats, like consistently. It's like, we've seen this one before.
Yeah, that was good. All right, Scrape.
My number 4 is going to be. There's so many things. Let's just go with the amazing day that Fernando Tatis Jr. had. Okay. I don't know why I screamed that. I was just very excited yesterday to see Fernando go 3 for 4. He actually got robbed of a home run as well because Tony, how much further up did that ball need to be for it to go out instead of hit the top ball?
He didn't get robbed of a home run.
He got robbed.
Hit the ball off the wall.
Yes.
He got robbed.
He didn't actually.
Should we have knocked the wall down for him as the ball was coming?
Yeah.
He needed about a foot and a half.
That thing was a rocket.
Oh, man,
anyway, Fernando's day yesterday was incredible.
Yeah,
so.
people are saying MVP before the season.
Now
they're really
third twice.
Now they're really saying it. My number 4 has to do with
Tony is pointing to
what you just said. The Padres making life miserable on a poor young catcher playing in his first major league game. To steal 5 bases. I told Skraby yesterday, poor Drake Baldwin. He's going to be able to tell everybody at his 20th and 30th high school reunions that in his first game he coughed up 5 steals, but it wasn't entirely his fault. Chris Sale
was his fault.
Right. Okay. Chris Sale and those guys were doing a terrible job of holding runners, and Toddy and Manny were getting running jumps to third base. One of the steals was they gave it to Manny on a 1st and 3rd situation. So you're right, Tony. But I like the fact that the Padres recognized it was his first game. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. They were, uber aggressive. And at this pace, the Padres are on their way to 800 stolen bases this year.
I will only say that Chris is 100% right, except in the fact that it wasn't it wasn't Baldwin that they were picking on. It was Chris Sale and that staff. Because I don't know if you guys know, every single throw he made, if
it was a pretty good throw,
if they didn't have great jumps, they would have all been out because he was throwing the ball right on the bag.
Good point. Good point.
So where we at? Where we at? Number 3. Number 3 of the 5 things that I saw is that seemingly all the guys that were made the roster late had an impact in yesterday's game. Ben Sheets. I keep calling.
See, you're doing the Sheets. You do it with him.
See? Gavin came up, hit the homer. You had Jay Hay come in, pinch run. He's able to get a bag, or he's able to come in and score later on. You just seem like all of the picks that even Alec Jacob coming in and being able to give some innings. I just thought all those guys factored in, and it's really kind of it points out that this staff and front office got a good gauge on what they need and when they need it. It's not that these guys are going to be here all year and being able to contribute, but when guys get called up, especially in the last year, and been asked to do a job, even somebody like Mason McCoy, who came up kind of emergency last year, came in, played his role, helped kind of keep the thing together until it got healthy again. It's going to be the same thing this year, and it was nice to see that those guys already in game one are contributing.
My number 3 is going to be how the bullpen picked up Michael King, because we talked about the bullpen being somewhat of a maybe question mark throughout all of the 6 weeks of us just saying things just to get through spring training. But it was nice to see that. And Michael King didn't have his best day, but bullpen came in, made it happen.
No hits allowed over the last 5+ innings for the bullpen. So
thank you for adding to my.
You're welcome.
I was not about to add that. So
he needed some help there.
Yeah, my number 3 was Jurickson's standing ovation. I loved it. I thought about what kind of reaction he would get. I thought he would get applause. I did not expect a standing ovation, and I thought it was a class move by the people here in San Diego to show appreciation for a guy that truly deserved it based on how he played last year. I also loved his 12-pitch at bat in the 4th inning, which I believe led to Austin Riley's home run on the very first pitch of the next at bat. I think
it did for sure.
Okay, so you
all
agree
of that,
with me.
Everything that happened after that.
Because Alec Jacob, it's only natural if you get a guy out in a 12-pitch at bat, you relax for a second, and then the next pitch got hit out. Jurickson helps his team win in a lot of ways, and he showed it yesterday. So I was really happy, and he deserved it.
Number 2.
Tony.
Is this me?
Yes, sir.
Number 2. My prediction that Toddy could win an MVP.
Got off to a good start.
Yeah,
got off to a terrific start. And it was proof to me, because remember, he had to hit in the leadoff spot, which he's only done one time last year. He only did that once. And to do it in such a, it was almost like he been hitting there all the time. He did all the little things. He had 2 bags. I'm just excited to see this young man, do something at full health, because that's what it looked like yesterday. And it didn't look like he was trying too hard. It just looked like he was just in his backyard playing baseball. And it was a lot of fun to watch.
I don't know. He's 26, Tony. He's getting up there. All right, Scrape.
My number 2 is going to be Jackson Merrill, because he's on my fantasy team. He picked up the first couple runs of the season.
He didn't even take it took one game for him to drop that in there already.
I've dropped it like 17 times at this point.
By the way, can we just put a moratorium on mentioning your fancy team this year?
Can't happen. Sorry.
It
just is an instinct for me to say that. But I actually, you know, when we used to talk about Fernando being the guy you would stay in front of the TV to watch, I was in the car yesterday listening to Tony and Jesse when his first at bat happened, and I was like, I'm not getting up. I want to see what happens with Jack. He's a wait in the car guy now.
Yeah, he is. That's a good call.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I think he became that guy in Pittsburgh last year, where it was like every night he was doing something.
Yeah, what was it? 5 games in a row or something at a tying home run in the 8th inning. It was unbelievable. And you know what? Orsillo and Mudcat said exactly what needed to be said when he came up yesterday, which was should have been the Rookie of the Year. I know we could argue till the cows come home. Should have been the Rookie of the Year.
Did you guys see the sign that was off of the freeway that said "Home of Merrill Mania, the real National League Rookie of the Year"? Someone put that up, and I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't want to take it away from Skeens, but
I do.
I know you do. Number 2 for me was Gavin Sheets' home run. When he came up, the first thought I had is he's not going to hit a home run here. I mean, you're really rooting for something impossible to happen. You're leading him off to tie the game in the 7th inning. He hit 6 home runs in the spring. There's no way in this one moment. And then, bang, he hit it. So that was a pretty memorable moment already for opening day.
Number one on my list is the continuity that it's going to take offensively to do what they did last year was on display once again for the Padres.
Stringing it together, huh?
Stringing it together. And they did it in new ways this year. I mean, we saw it a lot during spring, and I don't know if you weren't watching those games, it wouldn't be something that you pick on, but balls in the dirt was something that these dudes excelled at in spring training. And to see it put on display in a real game and see the type of impact it can have when you have those plays on top of good at bats. And listen, that was with Jerickson on the other side. Like Jerickson was usually right in the middle of that, doing the 10, 11, 12 pitch at bats. Without him, again, a huge piece, they were still able to replicate that type of offense. They put up 7 runs,
10 hits,
10 hits,
and they hit well with runners in scoring position
against a good Atlanta Braves ball club. So that's the number one number one thing I saw yesterday in terms of just keeping it rolling, keeping that offense going, and it's a well-oiled machine. It looked like last night or yesterday.
My number one is a double. It's going to be number one is Jerickson Profar and his standing ovation from the fans. I thought that was awesome. The second thing is what the Padres did for Bryce Miller and honoring Bryce Miller yesterday. Like I was talking to someone about Bryce this morning, and it's very sad, but I'm glad that they did something to honor him. So
yeah.
I had the same number one, Skraby, so I'll piggyback on you. Bryce Miller was a really important part of this community, really important part of the sports community, and part of our show, and we're going to miss him terribly. And the Padres did a really class thing. They left his seat empty in the press box. They left flowers there in his honor. And I'm pretty sure everybody who saw it was touched, and I certainly was. It was a great way to start the season. So thumbs up to the Padres for that. Bryce, we will not forget.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. That is our countdown for today. How about you and I both coming up with the same number one and being like, you're not supposed to be like me and care about things like that. That's great. That's good. You're coming around.
It's true. You're
coming around.
But, I got to say, this Bryce thing hit me a little bit harder than I thought it was going to.
I couldn't agree with you more. All right, coming up next, we'll liven things back up with our Chris First the Fans, 833-288-0973. Trivia and a trip to Vegas on the line.
Padres Braves today.
Fernando at the wall. Leads up. Oh, he made the catch.
Pre-game fun.
4 o'clock hour. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park. He'll rejoin us at the bottom of this hour. We got our big five still ahead. Matt Skraby pulling his hair out a little bit today on the ones and twos over there.
It's a new process, Chris.
Well, yes, you're trying to incorporate a little more video into the show today.
Yes, so I just got to get used to the
people coming
workflow.
at you from all angles. It started like at 1 o'clock when I texted Skraby and I said, "Can you get the
it's not
the
his
highlight
no.
of the Josh Giddey game-winning shot last night?" Because I wanted to play it for Tony. I knew how much he'd appreciate it.
You know how much I love to complain about you giving me things late? This is not the case for this one. I will defend you. You gave me that at like 10:30 this morning, and I got it done, but it wasn't until like the last 30 seconds.
No,
it's just been busy because it's the first Friar Friday of the season.
Yeah, Kyle Hart was our guest earlier, and it was really nice to get to know him a little bit. If you missed that opportunity, you'll get another shot in the 5 o'clock hour. Looks like South Carolina, the defending women's national champ, is going to be able to hang on.
Boo.
Yeah, Maryland gave them everything they could, everything they could want, but Carolina made a couple plays here at the end. They lead by 4, 69-65. Only 11 seconds left. So Maryland, and it's South Carolina ball. So Maryland's going to be something kind of like the Bulls got last night to beat the Lakers. That was the thing. It wasn't just the half-court shot that won the game. The Bulls were down 5 with 12 seconds left. They hit a 3.
Oh.
Then LeBron made a terrible inbounds. It was stolen.
That's all I've seen is.
And they made another 3. And now the Bulls were up by 1. Then the Lakers called timeout. They made a layup. The Lakers went up by 1. The Bulls had no timeouts, ran to half court. Guy made the shot. It was a crazy finish.
You know, that Josh Giddey story is kind of crazy because he was accused of something pretty horrible and then he was cleared of it. And he seems to be doing some great things lately.
He's I didn't realize he's an Aussie.
Oh.
They interviewed him after the game, and he's been getting interviewed a lot here today. But he's an Australian guy.
He almost had a quadruple double the other day.
I think you heard the call by Stacey King, the color analyst, earlier, talking about that it was the big one.
Yeah,
doing his best Red Fox on Sanford's son. But he also said something like during the craziness of the celebration, Paul Hogan is somewhere celebrating. Remember, he was the Crocodile Dundee
I was
guy.
going to say, why is he bringing up Paul Hogan?
Stacey King thought of everything in the moment when he hit that.
Should I know Paul Hogan a bowl?
I think that's his name, Paul Hogan.
No, you're right. It is.
Yeah. One last thing before we get to Chris versus the fans. The Milwaukee Brewers today traded to the Detroit Tigers an outfielder by the name of Brewer Hicklin.
So the Milwaukee Brewers traded him away?
Traded him away.
Oh, that's not allowed.
The guy's name is Brewer.
That's not allowed.
They traded him to the Tigers. They got some cash back. I love this little note. It says, Hicklin was the first player in Brewer history whose name was Brewer. Oh, really? Like, you know what I mean? There wasn't like 15 others?
Well, there's some crazy names out there these days.
Like I'm pretty sure the Padres have never had a player named Padre.
No.
So, this is very surprising that they had a guy named Brewer.
That is very surprising, actually.
They don't have him anymore.
I've never heard of anyone named Brewer before.
I hadn't either, but he's now a Tiger.
Now we got to look and see if this guy was a Brewer fan growing up or his parents were.
Yeah, got to see if he changes his name to Tiger Hicklin.
He should.
All right, let's play some Chris versus the fans, get some people some chance to go to Vegas.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, here's what we're playing for. 2 tickets or qualification for 2 tickets to Alanis Morissette at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace on October 24th. A 2-night hotel stay October 23rd through the 25th at Flamingo Hotel and Casino. And a $100 gas card. You will also win a 4-pack of tickets to the Good Guys 24th McGuire's Del Mar Nationals going down April 4th through the 6th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Grab tickets at good-guys.com/DMN. Now the rules, you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question, or you win if you're a first-time player. Let us know. You get that question for free today. And what's the last thing? Oh, yeah, Chris versus the fans, as we told you. Brought to you by Good Guys, 24th McGuire's Del Mar Nationals, April 4th through the 6th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Get details at good-guys.com. Good-guys.com. All right, let's go with our first contestant today. Let's go Kyle. Hello, Kyle.
Hey, good afternoon, Jen.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you on, Kyle. Good luck to you.
Ready to play?
Thank you. I am a first-time player.
First-time player. You got a little bit of harmonization.
Yeah, we go a little crazy when we get a first-time player. All right, Kyle, you're on to question 2.
Yep, here we go.
Okay.
Question number 2 starts like this. Who made the opening day start for the Red Sox yesterday?
Oh, man.
The Bo Sox.
I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Chris.
Pass it to Chris. I think he knows.
I think I know. Was it Garrett Crochet, the newly acquired lefty?
Sorry.
Sorry, Kyle, but play again. Your second time, you may have a little better luck.
I hate when first-time players get eliminated.
I do
like
too.
That.
I do too.
But they didn't know.
You know, it's just one of those things.
I think I'm getting your name right. Hasael?
Yeah, that's right.
Did he get it right?
It doesn't sound like I was right.
That's the first time he's ever gotten anything
you
right.
right.
So.
I think it's a silent H there to get it perfect.
Oh, Asael.
Okay.
Good thing I didn't call you Hazel today because that, me.
Oh, no.
Hey, I get that
you're lucky that he laughed, Skraby. If I was him, I'd come down here and knock you out for saying Hazel.
Well, I didn't tell you.
We don't all hate you like Chris does.
Oh, thank you very much. You are a winner.
Yeah, he's going to send you the tickets right now. I think he may drive Alanis Morissette over to your house. He's so happy to hear that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Then I get to drive Alanis Morissette around.
Get to hang out
and
with yourself.
She'll just like yell in the back seat about stuff.
What would she yell to you, do you think?
Oh, something about Dave Coulier.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I see where you're going with it. She would probably yell this.
It only works when the timing is better.
Yeah. I know.
All right,
Asael.
Get Asael in here.
Here we go. Question number 1. Who hit the only home run for the Padres yesterday?
That'd be Gavin Sheets.
Gavin Sheets.
That is correct. Tony calls him Ben Sheets. And as I call Yuki Matsui, Hideki Matsui. It's funny when something does get stuck in your head like that, it won't go away sometimes.
Yeah, it's a good thing that I actually haven't made a mistake yet, but it's gonna happen soon.
It'll pop up.
It's gonna happen soon. All right, question number 2. Who was the opening day starter for the Washington Nationals yesterday?
The Nationals.
Oh, that would be Mackenzie Gore.
Mackenzie Gore is correct.
We have a player. 13 strikeouts in 6 innings for Gore.
And not even close to getting the win either.
No, the Phillies came back against the beleaguered Nationals bullpen.
Real quick, sorry about this, Asael. Oh, my gosh, I keep saying that wrong. MLB has this great feature on their app on my TV where I can just watch each game in like 3 minutes. And then it just rolls through all the games. So last night when I was going to bed, I just clicked once, rolled through every highlight of every game played yesterday. So
Did you see the highlight of the Bulls game at the end?
No, I'm talking baseball.
Oh, baseball. What is it? Where is this now?
On MLB, on my TV has an MLB app.
Okay.
And it wasn't affected at the time by the outage.
So you can see all the game highlights in 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Well, I'm sure Asael is happy you cut into his game time to tell us that.
All right, question number 3. You get this right, Chris gets it wrong, you win. What National League hitter had the longest hit streak of 2024?
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, that's tough. Not sure, but I'm going with Luis Arraez.
Luis
home pick.
Arraez. I mean, it's not a bad guess.
That's a very good guess.
Stay there, though. Stay there.
I don't know. It wasn't Joe DiMaggio.
No, it was not.
He wasn't in the National League anyway. The longest in the whole league? That's really hard. I you know what? You'll say it and I'll go, oh, yeah. I think Asael's got to win. I'm going to have to just guess somebody crazy. National League, first team I kind of landed on in my mind was the Reds. Ellie De La Cruz. I don't know. Hey,
all right,
Asael, you're a winner.
Nice job.
Good for you.
Stay right there on the line because I need to get your guy hung up the other day. I'm still trying to track him down.
Yeah. Who was it?
It was someone that you were in the right division.
Okay, well, it's not.
Pirates, do you have any guesses?
Pirates, Brian Reynolds.
That's it.
It was.
25 game hit streak.
25, that's pretty good.
Longest in baseball last year.
Okay, very
that
good.
is like, I know it's a video game, but I play MLB The Show.
Mm-hmm.
It is really hard to get a 10-game hit streak going, like
Understand,
let alone real life.
Understand that Pete Rose got 44 in a row 47 years ago. No one's come close to Pete Rose. And Joe DiMaggio had 12 more than Pete Rose. That's how impossible that record's going to be to break.
That is pretty impossible.
You know who holds the Padre record? Longest hitting streak.
It's got to be our guy, Tony Gwynn.
It's got to be, but it's not.
Fernando?
Benito Santiago.
Oh, I did know this.
As a rookie, had a 34-game hit streak.
It's actually been asked on the Chris First the Fans before.
You've asked it, probably.
I have.
All right. Traffic and stay on the line. Asael, you're a winner. Good for you. We're going to hear from AJ Preller. He was on the morning show with Ben and Woods. What did he have to say? What did the guys ask him? We'll all find out together when Gwynn and Chris returns.
From the
right, welcome back. South Carolina did win it over Maryland, 71-67. South Carolina played Duke in the Elite Eight. On the women's side, men's Sweet 16 action should be underway shortly.
Games
it
last
is
night
actually
weren't very
underway. Ole Miss 6, Michigan State 6.
Oh,
first half. We'll get that up on the TV for you shortly here, Scrabe.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know you're dying to see it.
The games outside of Texas Tech and Arkansas, the games just, I know I'm complaining, but
they're fair.
I expect more drama.
I do too. And there's only been 2 upsets the whole tournament. I mean, we're like almost to the end. Somebody's got to upset somebody to make it interesting. And other than Arkansas knocking out St. John's and maybe in the first round, McNeese State beat Clemson, there haven't been any, upsets or Cinderellas or last second heroics type of things.
See, I don't really need a Cinderella. I just want good games. I need buzzer beaters.
Cinderellas.
I want last shots to choose the game. And especially when that guy travels against Colorado State, they should call the travel.
Well, that was the last shot you
wanted.
It
was, but it shouldn't have been the last shot. It should have been a traveling violation.
You're upset because they didn't call a traveling violation.
Mainly because I picked Colorado State.
All right. Here we go with I had something.
AJ Preller.
Well, yes. I wanted to finish up the hitting streak thing because we were talking about how hard it is to get a long hitting streak. In this century, since 2000, only 2 players have gone over 30. That's how hard it is to put a hitting streak together.
Wow.
One of them was Jimmy Rollins, 2005 and 6. I think that was over 2 seasons. He had 38. The longest in-game hitting streak this century is held by an old Atlanta Braves second baseman, power hitting Dan Uggla.
I remember him.
He had 33 games in a row in 2011.
He looked like He-Man.
Dan Uggla probably hit 240 in his career, but he had a 33-game hitting streak.
That's crazy.
So that makes no sense.
It makes 0 sense.
Yeah. All right. AJ Preller, indeed, was on the morning show with Ben and Woods. The award-winning morning show, Ben and Woods.
Yes. They just celebrated yesterday their 7-year anniversary.
I heard. And I heard that since they were down broadcasting live at Baja Ricks near Petco Park, the Padres actually brought them a cake.
The Pod Squad did, yeah.
Pod Squad brought them a cake.
I didn't see what kind of cake it was, but hopefully it was like a ice cream cake or
with all due respect,
red velvet.
With all due respect, Pod Squad, our 8th anniversary is not too far away.
I think it's already passed.
No, it's in April, isn't it?
No,
April's our anniversary.
I don't think so. We don't actually know.
No, we do. We started just after opening day.
I know, but I've looked back through my docs and I got to look back again during the next break because I keep forgetting what anniversary.
All right, so we're not going to be able to get a cake from the Pod Squad because we're not going to be able to give them the actual date of our anniversary.
Yeah, that's true. Also, we're not broadcasting down there, so.
Well, I think in honor of Tony Gwynn Jr., the Pod Squad should come up here.
I'm with it.
Travel
next third, or they're traveling, but
have cake. Have cake. We'll travel. Our 8th anniversary is soon, and every time I say something like that, I have to thank all you listeners out there who are part of this and help make it work for us. All right, so AJ was on this morning. They asked him a bunch of stuff. If you want to hear the whole interview, go to 97.3thefansd.com
or the 97.3 The Fan YouTube or Ben and Woods YouTube.
But we'll play a little of it here. And this is AJ Preller talking about how tough the final roster decisions were.
Again, I know the last, really kind of started maybe 3 weeks before we knew we had a break camp. Myself, Mike, our analysts, our scouting group, they were, pretty much every night we're hanging out, in the complex there in Peoria and got the whiteboard up and we're going, man, we're 7 names, 8 names, 9 names, end up being, 10 or 11 names that are, for 5 spots, so hopefully a good sign, in terms of for the season, having depth and, it's always a good thing when you have options and have tough decisions, but, there were some really tough conversations over the last couple of days because we could have gone a lot of different ways with the team and the roster. Obviously some of it was keeping depth, some of it was kind of the balance and blend, veteran, youth, athleticism, et cetera. And the good news is, the guys that we brought in, they made it, made us have some tough calls. And then I think looking forward to the rest of the year, I think we know that, there's going to be competition at the big league level. And as we need to see other pieces, whether we want to kind of change the look or style of our team, whether we have injuries and need some guys to come up and play well, we've got some guys throughout the organization that are going to be able to help us. That was all, that was all part of the decision. So obviously we went with the group we went to, but Oscar Gonzalez, Tirso, Connor Joe, Tyler Wade. I mean, there was so many different ways we could have gone with it. And, I think excited, probably as tough of any calls here, this last few weeks in terms of just rounding out the roster.
I got to agree with him. I mean, it was hard to do.
Yeah.
And I,
for us,
I got them all wrong, by the way. I had Connor Joe making it over Brandon Lockridge. That didn't happen. I had Tyler Wade making it the entire spring.
Yeah.
He ended up losing out basically to Iglesias.
Mm-hmm.
I had Campusano making the team. He lost out to Martin Maldonado. And I never really thought Gavin Sheets was going to make it until he, went crazy in spring training and changed everybody's mind. I would have expected to be Rosario instead.
I mean,
so out of the 5 open spots, the only one I got right was Gurriel. And when I guessed Gurriel, I didn't feel too good about it, but Gurriel did make it. The other ones, I got them all wrong. I mean, it was that hard to, figure it out.
Yeah, it was. And again, I'm glad that AJ Preller has to make those decisions because
he didn't make it alone.
No, I know. But Gavin Sheets, if he doesn't hit those home runs in consecutive games, I think it was 4 or 5.
5.
He doesn't make the team.
Probably not. But
if he hits 3 of those, he might not make the team.
As my good friend Sam Levitt said yesterday, if he keeps doing what he did yesterday, he's going to stay on the team all year. Sammy,
poor Sam.
I love you.
I'm not making fun of him because I say stuff like that.
I do too, and that's why I'm having fun with it. Because I can say it because I do the same thing.
I remember on a post game,
we say stuff that makes it's like, no kidding, pal.
I remember on a post game I got crushed because I was like, if the Padres just keep scoring runs, they're gonna win the game.
Yeah, you weren't lying.
Duh.
We're not lying. Arizona Diamondbacks signed Brandon Pfaadt, young right-handed pitcher, gets a 5-year contract extension, $45 million. That's a lot. They must really think this guy is good. He was 11-10 last year, 4.71 ERA, but 3.1 WAR. There you go. They look at the WAR. They don't care if you get anybody out. Just look at the WAR.
All right.
$9 million a year for Brandon Pfaadt.
He's had moments.
Sure, he has. $9 million a year worth of moments.
$9 million's not as much as he could have made.
Okay. I'm going to start pitching again. Big Five's next. Gwynn and Chris, stick around.
The Getaway.
down at Petco Park. Got the Big Five here in just a minute. Old Mississippi is leading.
Old Mississippi.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right, does it? They
No,
always
it
call them
doesn't.
old. They only call them Old Miss. That's it.
I don't know why they. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't they go by Mississippi?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're not old Alabama.
No.
Or old Florida.
Or old Vanderbilt.
Nobody. Just Ole Miss. They lead Michigan State 22-14 first half. Good start for Ole Miss.
Yeah,
I said we need an upset in the tournament.
Here it is.
If it happens, it'll happen on a game where I pick the favorite.
You know, I heard someone nationally on our station after one of the shows saying that a 12 beating a 5 nowadays doesn't really seem like an upset. And I kind of agree with that.
Well, I think McNeese State winning was an upset, but another 12, Colorado State beat Memphis. That was not an upset. Colorado State was actually favored to win that game.
Oh, okay.
So go figure.
Yeah, that is crazy.
All right, let's check traffic, then the rest of what's happening in sports with Skraby's Big Five.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. Happy to report no incidents or accidents. Going to find plenty of brake lights, some of the usual spots, northbound side of the 5 through the merge, on up toward the racetrack before it lets up. Both freeways looking pretty good coming off the split, but that southbound side of the 805 is going to grab you around Claremont Mesa Boulevard and stay pretty heavy down toward University before it lets you go. Spring into action at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. Stay in your car while friendly technicians check oil, batteries, lights, tires, bring you a cappuccino. Just kidding on that last one. Locations and coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. All vehicle types welcome. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Wow, guys, we're actually back to our old schedule, our old stomping ground. I can't believe the baseball season's back, to be honest. I can't. But we had some good stuff yesterday. We had some stuff from A.J. Preller. And so we're going to start actually with A.J. Preller because
number 5.
There's been some moves made on the roster the last couple days. And so he spoke very highly of one guy, and that would be Eggy Rosario in the wake of his DFA, and suggested that he expects to find a trade partner for Eggy via Jeff Sanders of the San Diego Union Tribune. Preller said, Eggy's a big league player. He's going to get an opportunity to go elsewhere and play in the big leagues, I would think immediately, and we'll try to add some value through a trade here in the next week. Now, Chris and Tony, my first question to you guys is, how do you trade a guy that you DFA'd?
Well, the rules state that you have 7 days to trade him.
No, that's the movie The Ring, Chris.
No, that's
The Ring.
No, that's I don't know. The baseball rules are very convoluted.
But is that
and crazy.
true? You have 7 days?
Apparently, he's got 7 days to try to work a trade out. And I honestly think, DFAing Eggy Rosario and basically parting with Eggy Rosario was probably the hardest decision they had to make in terms of finalizing the roster. I mean, Connor Joe going down, at least they know they can bounce him right back up. Camposano, same thing. I know it wasn't easy parting with Tyler Wade, but from what I understand, he's already passed through waivers. So Tyler Wade basically can be sent to the minor leagues now, but he has to accept that assignment. But I don't think they ever wanted to part with Eggy Rosario. They just ran out of bodies and ran out of space. So I think he will make a trade. I think somebody will be interested in that. Why wait for waivers if you're a team that, wants a good young player? It may not get down to you. You may not have a chance to pick him up. So there's so many teams that could use a player like Eggy Rosario, probably could plug right into the lineup. So I think this is what will happen.
Tony, what do you think about Eggy?
I think Eggy is a big league player. I think he probably will be able to get a trade for him somewhere. I think, first of all, the rules, I think you have to pass through waivers, and then the Padres have that amount of time to make a trade with somebody else.
Thank you, Tony.
At that point.
Okay.
I think that one was most likely the most difficult decision, because all the other ones, you could, as Chris said, they had options, so you can call them up and bring him in. I think the good thing for Eggy was he probably did himself some favors by the spring he had, and it probably makes it easier for AJ to complete a trade because he had such a productive spring training. So, it's that one I'm sure was tough. I mean, that's a homegrown guy that they had that they're going to have to part with, but it was in the interest of putting the best team on the field. And
I think Eggy should make a clean break once he leaves the Padres, and wherever else he goes, change his name to E-Guy.
He should, just to differentiate
Make a clean
himself.
break. That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
Leave the past behind.
Can you let everybody, all the reporters, know my name is actually E-Guy?
That's
Chris
right.
had it right. Chris Ello at San Diego had it right the old time.
My guy Chris had it going the whole time.
Number 4.
All right, I may, Chris, have found the one way that streaming may not be the one-stop shop for how we watch things going forward. Because yesterday, on quite possibly the biggest day of the baseball season, MLB TV was not able to be watched by any fans at all because there was a big technical outage. And they faced it all day long. Some fans weren't able to see any of their team's home games. One of those teams, the Guardians, are solely reliant on MLB TV to distribute their games and have they have made a peace offering for their own fans. Cleveland has offered free tickets to attend a game to make up for the outage. The statement said, to thank you for purchasing Cleveland Guardians.tv and to apologize for the inconvenience to your first game viewing experience. The Guardians and MLB would like to offer you 4 complimentary upper reserve tickets. Upper reserve.
Yeah, I heard
to,
that.
To 120
upper reserve.
I love how they
left
put
field stands.
I love how they put the reserve on there to try to make it seem a little more.
Oh yeah,
fancy.
it's like fancy. No, these are the nosebleeds. Just give me
The
4
upper
complimentary
reserve.
nosebleeds.
We're giving you 4 upper reserve tickets and a box of Kleenex for your nosebleed.
To one game in April or May, and you get to choose which game, but you cannot choose the home opener on April 8th.
All right.
Some are saying they don't want tickets. Some are saying they want a refund for at least the first month of MLB.TV.
You miss one game, you got to give up a whole month.
It was
back?
the biggest game of the year.
Get out of here. Knock it off.
Tony, you're up first. What would be a proper peace offering, Tony?
The tickets is more than enough of a peace offering. Knock it off. 4 of them at that. I mean, it just might have been you in the house, and you get 4 tickets. That's a pretty good. I know it's the upper reserve, which is
I was going to say,
which is quite.
Which means
hilarious.
you have a better view of Lake Erie than you do of the field.
Sitting with the pigeons.
Yes.
But I think that or one game worth of money back. It should be. Come on. I mean, that's a month. Get out of here with that.
So there are people, and I bet you Skraby is among them.
Whoa,
listen up, because I bet you've done this before. There are people who almost want businesses to make a mistake so that they can ask for more to make up for the mistake.
Sure.
I am not a person who ever speaks up about
There's
stuff
people
like
that really do try to take advantage of this stuff because they feel they're in the right. They got the moral high ground.
Yeah.
So they go, okay, I got a flat tire on your car, so I want a new car. And you're like, wait, since when did that happen?
For the record, I'm saying for sure, not that you are doing that, Skraby, but that there are people out there that certainly want businesses to fail so they can get more.
Oh, there are, for sure.
I'll tell you one person right now. Her name is Lori.
I was just about to say your wife.
because if we
what would Lori get out of this deal?
Well, I've told you the story before. Once we went the one time in Chicago where we got the room next to the elevator, the hotel room, she ended up getting us in the presidential suite. She was ecstatic about it.
Well, I would,
and she still talks about how great she is. So,
she is for that.
Well,
that's
there's no question. She is great, but she loves stuff like this. Oh, wait, the room, there's something wrong. Wait, I smell a little cigarette smoke in this room. Let's go. We're going to own the Hyatt.
That's too funny.
Chris, is that your? So
yeah, I'm good with Tony. No,
right.
I think this is a fair exchange
because I just looked it up. It's $149.99 for the Cleveland Guardians at 162. They're going to give you a discount of $1.08.
Do you want? Do you want the $1.08?
I want the tickets.
Or do you want the upper reserve?
I actually want a free month, but
well, I know you do. The $149 That's a pricey tag, but I guess that's what you got to do now.
That's what you got to do.
Thank you, Padres, for making us not have to do that.
You're supposed to get 162 of those bad boys with it. That's the difference. Like NFL, you're getting 16 or 17 games
for $7,000. Yeah.
Right.
Team. I just called you team for some reason.
All right.
Chris is your name. This was all teams.
Yeah, I get it. It was a glitch. Things okay.
Yeah.
Technology
I definitely saw it. I definitely saw it on Padre Twitter.
Yeah, and I actually felt like I thought there was like some local blackout. I didn't know the extent of things until I got home last night.
See what I'm doing here, Skraby? I'm waving everybody over to my side. My cable worked perfectly yesterday, and I enjoyed the entire game.
I did watch the game on cable as well.
There you go. There you go.
Number 3.
Apparently, a 13-12 record is good enough for Colorado to give Coach Prime a massive raise. Via Brian.
Wait. Is this the Coach Prime that you were most certain was on his way to the NFL? What is this the same guy you're talking about?
I never said I was certain.
Yes,
I said that it makes sense because he took the meeting with Jerry.
You said he was only in Colorado to make a stepping stone to the NFL.
1,000%.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna, for the sake of time, I'm just gonna agree with you guys.
Good,
but 13-12, man, wow. Give him the entire key to Boulder.
And he lost a bowl game by like 30 points.
The Alamo Bowl.
That was big.
Well, they've announced Colorado that is a 5-year, $54 million deal with Coach Prime. The $10.8 million per year agreement makes him one of the highest paid coaches in college football. He'll make $10 million this coming year, $10 million next year, $11 million in 2027, $11 million in 2028, and $12 million in 2029. So, Chris, do you think he deserves to be one of the highest paid coaches in football?
Based on performance,
college football.
Based on performance, I would say no, not yet. But
all right, Tony.
But no. But based on eyeballs that he brings to the program, I don't know. Can you name more than 5 other coaches in college football? Maybe 7. I mean, Coach Prime has brought, incredible attention to Colorado football. And he's rescued a program that I think won 1 game the year before he got there. So 13-12 is better than you're pointing it out to be, because he started at the bottom of the barrel.
Just reporting the facts, Chris.
I know what you're saying, and I'm trying to put him in perspective. I think it's a little much. I do. But this is what people like Coach Prime command. And if you're going to, work with him, you better get ready to pony up, because he doesn't do anything unless he's got a bag.
That's very true.
It's got to be full of cash.
I mean, he's set for life. Like, money is not something that's, big money might sway him.
And he's pretty frugal, it sounds like, too, when you hear him talk about his money. So I'm just saying, he's probably got some stashed away under his house somewhere.
Tony, what do you think? Does he deserve to be one of the highest paid coaches in college football?
Yes, because of the uniqueness of his situation. He came in, had a football team that won 1 game. They won 4, and then how many last year, Chris?
I think they won 9.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah,
9 games last year. So, and then on top of that, what he brings to the university in money itself. I mean, that place is filled to the brim again, which they hadn't seen in quite some time.
They got to be selling more gear than they've ever sold before.
1,000%. I mean,
everybody wants a Colorado.
I was about to say, now they're tapping into people who didn't even go to Colorado that want Colorado gear.
I would think so.
So, I think if you're asking me based on wins and losses, it's probably a little bit early. But in terms of what he does as a whole for the university, I think this is well within range of what it should be.
And let me just tell you,
don't let him then get in this contract and actually win, because you're gonna have to back the whole Brinks truck up at that point.
Win a national championship, you're paying $20 million a year.
God.
Just to go back, the Holiday Bowl people at the end of last season wanted nothing other than for Colorado to land in the Holiday Bowl.
Yeah,
and I guarantee you every bowl around the country was hoping for the same thing. That's his influence.
That's his impact.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he went to the Alamo Bowl?
Well, that was they had choice ahead of the Holiday Bowl. So there wasn't anything the Holiday Bowl could do.
Who cares about the Alamo Bowl?
I don't know. That didn't never mind.
Number 2.
Just mad at the Alamo Bowl for no reason now. Jazz Chisholm Jr. did an athletic interview about how his style of play may not be for everyone, and he said something that made me think. He said, quote, "I don't want to say this. Baseball is a white sport. I feel like white people criticize everything that a black man does. Black men are outspoken. They say what's on their mind. End quote. Now, the unwritten rules of baseball is mainly what he is talking about here. And he is saying that he shouldn't be, or the unwritten rules say he shouldn't be wearing jewelry on the field. He wears 2 earrings and diamond-crested chains featuring characters from his favorite anime series. He shouldn't pimp home runs, and he does. He pimps them every time, even if they're wall scrapers, and then performs his signature Euro step as he crosses home plate. So he's not talking about, he's just talking about the white men in regards to the unwritten rules of baseball. So, Tony, do you agree with Jazz Chisholm in his assessment?
No, not completely. I think, when you're having these conversations, you got to make sure you're specific enough so that you're not lumping everybody into one pool. And I think that's really the only mistake he made. The things that he's talking about are the same things that many African-American black players have been talking about, for a long time. And I think it's less prominent now than it was when I was playing. I think people are more accepting of the game, but there are plenty of older white men who saw the game in a different way, and a guy like Jazz makes them uncomfortable watching them, Euro step around the bases, do the jump. I think it's the jumper at third as he hits that. The chains. Listen, I came in an era where you had to have some time before you could have the bling blings in your ear, right? Like you had to be a dude who had like some service time. Now, rookies can do it, and I'm fine with it. I mean, that's an accepted practice now. It wasn't like that when I came into the league, but I would say that the thing that Jazz has to be more cautious of is when he's explaining, that this view and how it is, he has to be very specific in how he's talking, because I don't think that's everybody anymore. I don't think it's ever been everybody, but the way he made it sound was like it was all white men, and I don't think that's.
And it's a very long article too, with many more different things that he talked about. So make sure you go read The Athletic if you want to get up to date on everything that he said. I don't know why, but I feel like he's just describing Bob Brenly to a T there.
Well, if he's describing Bob Brenly, he's probably right. I mean, let's go there first.
I mean, but that's the era that those guys came up in, and so I'm not saying it was right, but I certainly know that for a long time, you could have a black player and a white player. Not for a long time, but in that era that I'm talking about, they could be the same style of player. One would be considered gritty. One would be considered a little bit of a hot dog.
Yeah, right.
And those
if a black player ever did what Pete Rose did, running to first, he probably wouldn't have got the same reaction.
100%. So I think as I said, Jazz just has to be a little more selective in how he uses his words, because that's going to get clipped, and guess what? They're going to run that all up and down IG, and all whatever Twitter, and it'll be taken as it's written,
out of context.
Out of context. And so he has to, if you're going to have that discussion, you definitely have to be thoughtful in how you're going to bring it so that people can digest it.
Tony got everything. I want to say one, just from another angle on this, I don't think it's also right to say that all black players are showmen like Jazz Chisholm. And
That's
for an
like
example, I will go back in the day. Yes, I'm turning back time once again. But the one pitcher that I remember more than any other pitcher in the history of the game who played the old school way of you hit mine, I hit yours, you crowd the plate, I brush you back, was Bob Gibson, who was black. So the same way Tony says not all white people don't like this, I also want to point out all black players don't, showmen. A lot of them just do their thing.
But I had a father that was not a showman.
There you go.
He one of the reasons why he enjoyed watching me play more because I did some of the things that he wasn't comfortable doing.
Right.
So he could kind of live through me in some ways, in some parts, believe that or not. But I just think, it's, again, you just got to be thoughtful in how you describe it. Chris is absolutely right. Not every black player is going to be a showman or someone who's got a little hot sauce. And not every white dude is going to hate on a dude who has a little sauce to him.
I wish I could pull off.
I wish I could say
if
sauce
I said
as
hot
well.
sauce, it would be so out of place.
No,
It'd
the
be
only
like,
way. The only
are you talking
time,
about food?
Yeah, the only time I can say sauce is when I'm talking about Arkansas. That's it.
It's the only time we're cool when we say the word sauce.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Number 1.
If you want to make some extra money while flying, maybe this is the way to do it. On a flight from New York to Austin, a passenger posted this story on social media. By the way, on Reddit, I look at a lot of different flying forums and everything, rude passengers, hacks, things like that.
By the way, just to add to this, whenever I go on a flight with the women's basketball team, he tracks my flight.
I do.
Yes,
I've never heard of anybody who does this.
Jesse Agler. Jesse Agler does that.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, so here's what it said on Reddit.
I only know of that site because of you and Jesse.
Yeah.
You only know
tracker.
that there's a Padres waypoint and a Gwynn waypoint out in the ocean because of Jesse Agler.
That's right. I had no idea there was a Padre point and a Gwynn point.
Yep. All right, so here it goes. While boarding, 2 guys came up to my row and asked if anyone in an aisle or window would swap so they could sit together. They both had the middle seats on opposite sides of the row, and they offered $80 for these seats. The Reddit user said other passengers were shooting down the offer, and one of the men ended up sitting next to the Reddit user that's posting. He goes on to say, the guy next to me asked if I would swap for $150. I thought about it and said yes. We swapped, and his buddy Venmo'd me before takeoff. Boom. Easiest $150 I have ever made. So, Chris, would you sell your middles, or would you sell your aisle or window for a middle for $150?
No.
I would.
I would give it to them for free. There's absolutely no way.
Whoa. Okay, Mr. Angel over there.
Well, first of all, if it's a 12, 14-hour flight, then don't bring it up.
New York to Austin. 3.5 at most.
All right, 3.5 hours, I can handle it. I've been in the middle seat a million times in my life. If somebody wants to sit next to somebody that they're traveling with, I'd be the first person to stand up and say, here, I'll swap with you. And I've done it many times. So I don't think I wouldn't feel comfortable taking the money. Sorry, that's my answer. You don't like it? Don't ask the question.
I don't like it, so I'm going to keep it.
I don't like it.
I wouldn't take the money, but not because I wouldn't feel comfortable. It's just too risky. I've had a claustrophobia episode on a plane before, and that was flying charter with a team where you can sit wherever you want. After that, I was like, I will never again sit anywhere other than the aisle. I need to feel at least
a little freedom,
some freedom.
Now that he said that, I got to add one thing. I would give you my seat and take the middle seat, but only under the condition that I can get up and use the bathroom as often as I want without you complaining.
I think it's fair.
Because if you're going to put me in the middle, you got to live with the fact that I may have to get up a couple times.
I told you about the time that I was flying home from Ireland and I paid extra for extra leg room, and the lady had a baby and wanted to sit next to her husband and asked me if I wanted to move from my window seat, and I said no.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
I said, I paid extra for this seat. You're going to stick me in the back in the middle, going from Ireland to Philadelphia?
You should have seen what it was worth to them.
Skraby is a savage. He was like, nah, I'm sorry.
I was also extremely hungover, and I didn't want to move. So it would have made me probably sick to get up and move things.
You flew all the way back from Ireland to where?
Philly.
Hungover.
And you were hungover? Oh, I know you were gassy on that. You were
no.
Yeah.
I was just basically.
Did you smell like a brewery? I mean,
it's Ireland, so come on. I was like a raisin because I was so dehydrated. I felt like. Anyway, that's enough out of that story. That baby cried almost the entire way home. Anyway,
that's what babies do.
All right, that's it for the Big Five. When we get back, we're going to get you set for Game 2 between the Padres and the Braves, and we will hear from Kyle Hart. He was our Friar Friday interview, so we'll do that when we get back on 97.3 The Fan.
Tony Gwynn Jr. here. You already know I'm a huge fan of Symbiotica. As I get older and deal with inflammation, Symbiotica has made it easy to stay on top of my health game. Every morning, I start my day with Golden Mind for mental clarity and focus. Packets are perfect.
Stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low. Right on, all the way down. Right, right. All the way. Here we go. Okay.
Oh, you idiot. Typical tandem student right there.
I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy.
Fun, huh?
You need help with anything?
From the fan base to the player development to everything, it's a place I wanted to be, and I'm happy to be here.
Reynaldo Lopez on the mound tonight. And
should we get Sam too?
Preparing for a guy like that.
Yeah, but
we were
that's
teammates
it
for
after
3
the
years.
question. I don't want to hear the answer.
Obviously,
you just want to hear Sam's voice.
Just want to hear Sam's voice. Who was he talking to there? Mr. Sheets?
Mr. Gavin Sheets.
Yes, we'll see what he has in store for tonight's game 2 of the series. Sam Levitt is coming up soon.
Yes, he is.
You get to hear him for an hour straight, beginning at about 5:35 or so. 5:40, right?
Yeah,
exactly
5:40.
An hour before the game. Sam comes on. You can set your watch by it. He'll be on with the Padre pregame show. And, of course, it will be Reynaldo Lopez, as Sam pointed out, who had a great year last year. And I'll say it before Skraby does. He was part of Skraby's championship fantasy team last year.
Yes, he was.
And who told you to pick him up
You
early
did.
in the season?
You did.
I did.
I had no idea
You
who
were
he
dying
was.
for a pitcher, and I said, this guy's pretty good.
I had no idea who
And
he
you
was.
picked him up, and then you proceeded to whip me with him.
He had a sub-2 ERA last year.
He was really in his I don't think he was sub-2. That would be,
Well, he got hurt, so it wasn't like he made a full season of starts.
But he had a great year. There's no question. And his WAR was like really high. Because remember, we did that Fantabulous Game Show the other day, and we talked about the players in baseball last year who had a 6.0 WAR or better.
Yes.
And guess who had one? Reynaldo Lopez.
Yeah, he was 1.99 ERA last year.
That's what he finished?
Yep. He
So
started
you were right.
25 games.
So he was sub-2.
Yeah, but he only pitched 135 and 2/3, and he's not a
Still
big
pretty
strikeout
good.
pitcher.
So what? This is first of all, he had 148 strikeouts and 135 innings. So more than a strikeout per inning.
True.
Secondly, who cares how many you strike out if you get outs?
Fantasy baseball cares.
I do. I don't. Thirdly, 1.99 ERA is really good. He was a 5.1 WAR last year, not 6, but still 5.1. Really good year. Padres will face him tonight. By the way, the guy pitching for the Padres finished 4th in the Cy Young balloting last year. His name is Cease. Dylan Cease. That's the matchup tonight. Lineups are out. I thought it was very interesting. We talked about it with Tony earlier. Fernando is back. Thank you. Fernando Tatis Jr. is back in the leadoff role again.
Yes.
And this is against a right-handed pitcher. So I think a lot of us thought he only batted leadoff yesterday because they were facing a lefty, but they're facing a righty tonight. Fernando's leading off again. So that is the first big change of the season, really. Rise batted leadoff all last year. Fernando batted second, and now they flip-flopped, and we'll see how long this lasts. I'll tell you how long it's going to last. As long as Fernando goes 3 for 4 with 2 steals, he'll be in the leadoff spot.
That's what I thought too.
Pretty much it.
Here's what Mike Schilt. Sorry, I just
go ahead.
was listening to this. Mike Schilt actually was asked by Mr. Scanlon, Bob Scanlon,
right,
about Fernando hitting leadoff, and here's what Schilt had to say.
Hear what he has to say.
We'll see you today. Yep.
Did you plan to have him lead off the second day, or was it like, hey, he looked really good yesterday, let's do it again?
I think it's something we're playing with and looking at. He looked very comfortable. Louis comfortable with the second. It looks good, and we'll see what it looks like continuing. I think it's a good.
He's giving us nothing, Chris. He's giving us nothing.
He went to the AJ Preller School of Answering Questions. Say something, but say nothing.
He said he's going to be doing it today.
That's right. Fernando's in the leadoff spot.
But I think you're right.
No, he'll, as long as it works, he'll do it.
Yeah.
Manny will hit third again. Jackson Merrill with the righty bats cleanup. Jake moves up to 5. Bogarts drops down to 6. Gavin Sheets gets the DH start tonight against the righty in place of Gurriel. Jason Hayward gets to start in left field rather than Brandon Lockridge. And Martin Maldonado makes his first start instead of Elias Diaz. We had a couple of hits yesterday as well. So that's the Padre lineup tonight. If you got to have a Braves lineup, I'll give you one. It's the exact same as yesterday, except for Nick Allen, shortstop, will get the start instead of Orlando Arcia in the 8th spot. Everybody else is the exact same. And if you don't remember the rest of their lineup, sorry. I'm not giving
Michael Harris is there somewhere. Jared Kelenic is there somewhere. Ozzy's there somewhere.
They're all in there somewhere.
Matt Olson.
So Braves, Padres game 2 tonight. Tomorrow, reminder. We really should have reminded you a few more times about this. We're not very good at reminding about our own appearance tomorrow.
It's been a busy day.
Huh?
It's been a busy day.
Well, and then the producer didn't put it in the notes for me to read. So we will be at Tom's Watch
Bar.
It is right on, what's that, 10th? No, 10th
8th and J.
Between H and J.
8th and J.
8th and J. What? No. 8th runs this way. 10th runs this way.
I'm looking.
It's between 8th and 10th on J. Anyway, it's right next to the ballpark.
This Saturday on 8th and J.
Okay. Corner of 8th and J.
It just says on 8th and J. I don't know why you can't be wrong, but you sound like you can't be wrong. Because it says, literally, I read all week, on 8th and J.
Okay, it is. 8th and J. We'll be there tomorrow. Saturday appearance.
Yes.
So we'll, Skraby and I will be there from 2 to 3:15. So you better, get there while you can. Game is at 4:30 tomorrow.
I think I'm going to try one of these Tom's Famous prime rib dip sandwiches.
Like I said, I've already ordered ahead for us. They should be waiting for us when we arrive.
Hey, one more thing, Chris, before we get going. Happy Hour is brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball is back, and so is swim season. Call now and mention radio for a free month of pool.
Good game in the NCAA women's tournament, Sweet 16, LSU, NC State, tied at 34. Late in the second quarter, earlier today, South Carolina struggled but got past Maryland, and the defending champs will meet Duke in the Elite Eight. On the men's side, halftime, Ole Miss, Mississippi leads young Michigan State, I guess, 33-31.
Oh, young Mish?
Young Mish, right. Old Miss 33, Young Mish 31. They're at halftime of that game. And last I checked, Tennessee was off to a good start against Tucky. And they're still off to a good start. It's Tennessee 29, Tucky 17.
So what's Butler doing?
Early 12-point lead for the Vols. Butler is 5 points, but 2 fouls. So he's on the bench, most likely. I'm not watching the game right at this moment. Take a break. When we return, a chance for you to get to meet a guy that we enjoyed meeting earlier
he was
today.
Great.
He was really good. Kyle Hart. Part of the interview, you'll hear my embarrassing story surrounding Kyle Hart and much, much more. After we check traffic, the Padres' newest starting pitcher joins the program.
From the
All right, Lamont Butler in Kentucky trying to keep it going. It's not going, though. All Tennessee right now over the Wildcats. 35-20. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Tennessee blowing them out. Halftime, Ole Miss leads Michigan State 33-31. Pretty good game. 2 games later today. Houston plays Purdue and the Boilers. Those are the Boilers. Purdue, the Boilers.
Yeah, the Boilermakers.
Boilers. And the other game later tonight will be Auburn going up against Michigan. I think that'll be a good game, but who knows?
None of them have been.
It's not been a great tournament in terms of excitement. This is flat out that's the truth. Women's side, NC State leads LSU 40-36 at halftime. I'm surprised by that. And earlier today, both South Carolina and Duke advanced to meet in the Elite Eight. One final score on the baseball field today. Tampa Bay, walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning by Cameron Meisner. Only his second career hit. And it's a walk-off 3-2. Tampa Bay beats the Rockies. As I said, the Rockies take their rightful spot in the NL West cellar.
He must be really comfortable hitting in AAA parks because he's only got 2 hits.
Well, he only was up for a short time last year and came in today as a late inning replacement and won the game for the Rays. Padres and Braves coming up. Pre-game show, Sam Levitt, very soon. Right now, though, a chance for you to meet a guy that I enjoyed having on the program a little earlier. Kyle Hart, lefty, new starter. He's going to make his Padre debut on Monday night against the Guards. But he made his Gwynn and Chris debut earlier, and he sounded pretty good.
Let's get to our Friar Friday guest of the day. Kyle Hart joins us, Padres starter. Kyle, how's your Friday going, man? Welcome to San Diego.
Hey, I appreciate it. Friday's good so far. Took my daughter to the zoo, best zoo in the country, so we got acquainted out there. It's been great.
Now, before we move this along further, I noticed that you're from Cincinnati. I got to ask you, you're a fan of Skyline Chili before we really get rolling in this bad boy.
I'm a huge fan. In the off season, I'm there at least once a week. Most weeks, twice.
Okay.
A man who knows what good food is.
Yeah, Skraby's a Cincinnati guy.
Can I ask, are you a Gold Star guy at all? Or is it just, okay. See, I told you guys.
He said no,
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Straight up, man.
So real quick, Schwarber is a good buddy of mine, and he likes Gold Star. Him and his wife like Gold Star, and when we go there, I won't even eat it. I'll just say, you guys get what you want. Let's go.
Man, I was going to make a presentation to Gold Star today to see if they would promote our show, but that's not going to happen now.
Nope.
Kyle Hart is with us. Kyle, congratulations making this club from Korea to San Diego. A year over there. Tell us how it was for you, 2024. Did you ever think, man, it's going to be really hard to get back? Or did you know that this was kind of the thing that you needed to kind of get you prepared to get back to the big leagues?
To be honest, I was just happy with the opportunity to continue playing last year. And it wasn't even on my radar to kind of come back until later in the season. Obviously, Eric Fetty, he was on the same team that I was the year prior. So a lot that kind of got brought up to me relatively early, but I was able to kind of push that down for a while. And then as the season progressed, I realized it may be a possibility. But going over there, I never really gave it much thought. I was just trying to be the best pitcher I could be at the time.
Kyle, so often we've seen guys, whether it's Korea or Japan, go over there and something clicked for them. Something happened where they come back. They are a much more effective pitcher at the big league level. What was it for you that you felt like kind of got you back in rhythm and got you to this point where you can come in and be of help to a big league starting rotation?
Yeah, I definitely I had a couple things click. The sweeper, I think, is definitely an improved pitch for me. I think just using two different types of fastballs and how to use those. was a big deal. But honestly, it's just being given the opportunity to go out every 5 or 6 days and throw 90 to 100 pitches. I think that's something that you, as somebody that was getting pushed out of the game and barely getting opportunities in AAA at times, like when you just know, hey, this is my day, I got to go out and do it. I think that helped me build my confidence back up. And that's one of the things I'm looking forward to kind of carrying into this season.
Kyle Hart is with us, Padres' brand new left-handed starting pitcher. And Kyle, you can probably write the book on all of the little towns and cities in America now. Since 2016, let's see, Salem, Greenville, Portland, Pawtucket, Portland, Worcester, Portland, Tacoma, Lehigh Valley. What do you think of when you think back to all of that time, all of that travel, and now today? It probably feels like it was all worth it.
No, it certainly does. That's a great question. I think it shows how resilient my wife is. That would be
sure.
That would be number one. I'm not sure if she's listening. So, no, to be fair too, Boston has two of my favorite all-time minor league cities, Greenville, and then Portland, Maine is, if anybody's been up there, it's an amazing spot too. But yeah, it's a lot of travel. And then obviously going over to Korea last year, my wife's dragging a 12-month-old over on a 15-hour flight. So I've been around a little bit, but just really looking forward to being in this city. I mean, San Diego may be my favorite town of them all, and I've been here for 4 days. So looking forward to working my butt off and helping this team and just hopefully being in one city for an entire year. That would be amazing.
Padre pitcher Kyle Hart spending some time with us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Kyle, I mean, you've gotten a chance now to have a full spring training. You're 4 days or 3 days, 4 days into your big league season. What is your thoughts working with Ruben Niebla? We always hear from all the starters how much they enjoy working with him. What have you been able to garner so far, and what it's been like working with Ruben Niebla?
I think the number one thing I've noticed with Ruben is he really instills confidence in all of us. So whatever you're good at, he wants you to know and believe that you're good at it, and he wants you to go out and execute what you're good at. And I think that's just something that's lost at times in this game, especially for me. It's like maybe you're trying to gain more velo, or you want to get more depth on your changeup. He's just like, be you, do what you do well, and be proud of it. And I think that's the biggest thing I've taken away from spring training. And that's the entire pitching group. With Chris and Peter Somerville and Fritzy. And so I think just instilling confidence in us has been an amazing kind of feature of this pitching group so far.
Kyle, I saved this story for last, just in case, you didn't take it as well as I thought you did.
Uh-oh.
But I got to come clean. I was the guy sitting out on the back patio with my back to you a week and a half ago. I'm talking to Skraby over here. And we were talking about who was going to be the number 5 starter of the Padres. And I think I said, well, maybe it'll be Waldron. Maybe it'll be Vasquez. Maybe it'll be Brito. And I didn't see you walking behind me. And you raised your own arm and said, well, don't forget about me. And then I said, oh, yes, of course, Kyle Hart. So I had to come clean on that one. But I didn't forget about you, thanks to you being there. And I think for all of us, it's a great story, because all of us can I think understand 19th round draft choice, 9 years trying to work your way to this point. We can appreciate it, because I don't think anything was given to you. And, I know you're going to make the most of this opportunity. How are you going to put it out of your mind when you step on the hill, and get that first start this year?
That's a good question. And that was really funny. I was just, it was like perfect timing for me to give you a little bit of crap, but my goal, and to answer your question, I want to succeed for the guys in this clubhouse. I think like having a full spring training with them and seeing the culture that they have, I just want so badly to do well for my teammates and for the staff. And I think when you're driven by something like that, it's easy to put some of this other stuff out of your mind. But there is a part of me that I want to go out and pitch well, because I want to make AJ Preller look like a genius. I want to make him look like I was the right guy the whole time, So you're always thinking about those things, but at the end of the day, like, I know how much baseball and this team mean to this city, and I'm trying to get on board as fast as possible with this culture and just, helping us get this first World Series and get that going. So I'd be lying if I told you I don't think about it, but I think just wanting to succeed for these guys kind of trumps everything when you're in the moment.
I got to say, I mean, based on listening to you speak here today, much like many of the other signings that AJ has pulled off, you seem to fit in quite well, Kyle. We appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us. Good luck, man. You certainly got the city behind you as you get ready to make your first start.
I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a great day. Hopefully we're 2-0 after tonight, all right?
Thanks, Kyle.
Love to see it. Thank you, Kyle. Kyle Hart,
Very
Padre
good.
starter in the rotation.
Yes, he'll make his Padre debut, as mentioned, Monday night against the Guardians. Kyle Hart has only pitched in 4 major league games. I mean, for a guy that, like I said, 19th round draft choice, Skrabe, he went to Indiana.
I've never been a 19th round draft choice.
No,
so
I know that would be good for us, but for major leaguers, not a ton of 19 rounder, make it. And then when you consider he's been pitching in all those cities I mentioned for 9 years, and in all that time he's pitched in 4 big league games, and that was in 2016 with the Red Sox. So he hasn't been back to the major leagues in 9 more years. That was his first year. He made it up to the big leagues. Well, let me see. No, I got that.
I know
wrong.
he pitched for the Red Sox.
Yeah, no, I got it wrong. 2020. You're right. Thank you. I read it wrong. 2020, he was with the Red Sox, but he hasn't been back since to the big leagues. Last year, if the Korean KBO means anything to you, he was 13-3 with a 2.69. He had 182 strikeouts and 38 walks.
Wow.
So, that's probably what caught the eye of, AJ Preller. And
AJ Preller is also really good at finding guys from overseas. And
we've had good success with this kind of stuff.
Nick Martinez,
and give
Kirby Yates.
Here's the other thing. Give Kyle Hart more than like 2 starts.
Yes, please.
If he goes 5 innings, gives up 4 runs, and then the next time goes 4 1/3 and gives up 6 runs, his career isn't over, and then the other side, if he pitches 8 shutout innings in both games, wait till we put him in the Hall of Fame. But I know we're going to overreact right off the bat.
Probably.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yesterday it was games. They won the game, but it was shaky, a shaky win.
No, that was just your friend said that. Everybody on Sammy Levitt's post-game show had us in the World Series after the win.
Well, that's
yesterday.
just because Sam projects that.
Sam is a positive
He
fella.
is a positive fella.
Jackson Holliday's homered tonight. I know you're a fan of that. 4-2, though. Toronto leads Baltimore. O'Neill Cruz is homered. Pittsburgh leads Miami 4-0. They're in the 5th inning. Juan Soto is 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Whoa.
I know it's over for him.
I didn't think he did that.
What a terrible deal that was.
Did you see his swing to end the game last night?
I didn't see it.
It was like one of those, I want to swing. No, I don't.
Too late. 2-0 Mets over the Astros, regardless of Juan Soto's struggles. All right, we're ready to go to Sam Levitt. What'd you say? 5:34:02
was the music.
Oh, what time is the end of the show?
35:02.
Oh, I got 20 more seconds.
I think you're done.
No, I'm not. I want to give an update on Ole Miss and Michigan State.
You just did like 2 minutes ago.
Well, there's another one. 42-39. Ole Miss, 15 minutes to go. We'll see you tomorrow at Tom's
Watch Bar. 8th and
right
J.
by the stadium, 8th and J. Skraby and I are there at 2 o'clock. Enjoy baseball tonight.